Douluo, Supernatural Replication and Evolution System. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 76 Tianyu is pretending again. The huge fireball condensed by the dozens of meters of the body of the fiery sun fire sparrow directly and quickly hit Tianyu. In the eyes of others, Tianyu just stood there, without any movement at all. Junior sister, let's go quickly, that person is a fool, he won't even hide. The young man shouted anxiously. Wait? The Purple Sands girl insisted on not leaving. She felt that Tianyu was definitely not a fool, because she could see it from Tianyu's eyes. Because there was no panic in Tianyu's eyes from beginning to end, there was only that confidence in his eyes, that absolute confidence. Just when the fireball was about to hit Tianyu just said lightly, "It's annoying." Then a black energy appeared between Tianyu's fingers. Facing the fiery sun fire sparrow rushing towards him, Tianyu just slowly stretched out a finger. The huge fireball of dozens of meters incarnated by the fiery sun fire sparrow, at the moment it hit Tianyu's finger, the terrifying flames of dozens of meters high on the fiery sun fire sparrow were instantly extinguished, and the fiery sun fire sparrow was directly nailed in the air by Tianyu using the power of space. The huge body of the fiery sun fire sparrow was destroyed bit by Tianyu's destructive power, but the fiery sun fire sparrow could not even move, and could only watch its flesh disappear bit by bit. The bird roared in despair, but more of it was despair and fear. Tianyu said lightly, "If there is an afterlife, I hope you don't want to eat me anymore." Then, Tianyu snapped his fingers, and the huge body of the fiery sun fire sparrow instantly turned into powder. Only a soul ring and soul bone were left floating in the air. Seeing Tianyu kill the fiery sun fire sparrow in one blow, the audience watching the battle below were already dumbfounded. A young man slapped his junior brother next to him, and then said, "Fuck, it doesn't hurt. This is really a dream. How could someone kill the fiery sun firebird in 1 second with just one finger?" The junior brother covered his face and said, "Brother, you fucking hit my face, of course it doesn't hurt. Fuck, who is this person? His strength is too terrifying. He is even more perverted than the top 10 geniuses. I think he's a titled Douluo who came in disguise." As soon as this person finished speaking, he was looked at by everyone as if he was a fool. Haha. I'm kidding, why are you taking it so seriously? Fuck, that's a soul bone, it actually exploded. And it's a top-grade external flying soul bone. How much would this kind of soul bone cost in the outside world? Priceless. Because no one would sell this kind of top-grade soul bone. Tianyu held the top-grade external soul bone in his hand, looked around below, and then found the target. Tianyu gently landed in front of the Purple Sands woman, and then handed the soul bone in his hand to the woman. The Purple Sands woman didn't take it, but just said, "What do you mean, sir? Nothing special, I forgot to bring my soul guide today, and I have no place to put this thing anyway, so I just give it to you." After hearing what Tianyu said, everyone else present was dumbfounded. What kind of bullshit excuse is this, not bringing a soul guide? I don't believe you. They really wanted to say, "Boss, I have a soul guide here, give it to me." But none of them dared to step forward. Seeing that she didn't mean to take it, Tianyu directly held her hand and put the shrunken soul bone directly into her hand. Tianyu's speed was very fast. Before the Purple Sands woman could react, Tianyu used the power of space to teleport to a mountain 100 meters away. Tianyu's back was facing everyone, and he said melancholy, "Alice, don't look at me as handsome and powerful as I am. In fact, I have been very lonely since I was a child, and no one has ever trusted me. Just now when I was fighting, among so many people, I only saw trust and expectation in your eyes. I was very moved, so I gave this trophy to you, please don't dislike it." Tianyu was talking nonsense seriously, but they all believed it. It turns out that the saying that geniuses are lonely is true. I'm stupid, why didn't I trust the boss at that time? Maybe I could get a soul bone. I feel like I missed 100 million. As for the Purple Sands woman, seeing Tianyu's appearance, she still couldn't return it to Tianyu, because Tianyu looked determined to give her the soul bone. It's better to accept it, after all, the top-grade external flying soul bone is what many soul masters dream of. The Purple Sand Woman could only thank him. Then I would like to thank you for your soul bone. You're welcome. I don't know your name. Tianyu said lightly. People in the world call him Shi. After Tianyu finished speaking, he used the force of space to disappear. The Purple Sand Woman said, "What a strange person, with a strange name." The senior brother next to the Purple Sand Woman looked at the top-grade external flying soul bone in the Purple Sand Woman's hand with envy, and said, "Junior sister, if someone gives me such a precious gift, I will marry him." The Purple Sand Woman rolled her eyes at her senior brother and said, "Then I'll give you my soul bone, and you go and marry him." The senior brother said excitedly, "Junior sister, really? Go to hell." Afterwards, other disciples in the secret realm who had just been present said, "Shi, isn't this a prodigy on the top 10 prodigies list?" Another person said, "Maybe this big guy's more low-key. No matter how low-key he is, it is impossible that there is no information at all. The strength of that big guy Shi is estimated to be stronger than the one ranked first on the prodigy list." "You're talking nonsense, how is it possible?" A fan of a prodigy on the prodigy list retorted. "How could it be impossible? Can anyone on the Xianjiao list kill the Liang Firebird in 1 second with just one finger? And this is when Master Shi has not activated his martial spirit. Can the Xianjiao on the Xianjiao list do this?" The Xianjiao fan did not speak, because the Xianjiao on the Xianjiao list really could not do this. The young man said, "From today on, Master Shi is my idol. Master Shi is the strongest Xianjiao in my heart." "You lick dog, you change your face faster than turning a book. What were you doing when Master Shi didn't kill the Liang Firebird in 1 second at the beginning?" After Tianyu finished pretending, he continued to wander around in the secret realm. Giving the soul bone to the purple woman was indeed a whim of Tianyu. Although the woman was wearing a purple veil, Tianyu could still tell from her beautiful eyes and her hot body that this woman was definitely a stunning woman who was not inferior to Xiao and others. Before he started to act cool, among the nearly 100 disciples who had come down to play, none of them trusted him. Most of them were watching the show with a gloating mentality. But among so many gloating eyes, Tianyu noticed a pair of beautiful pupils. The beautiful pupils showed trust and expectation for Tianyu. Tianyu, who had originally planned to leave directly with a special force, gave up the idea because he wanted to act cool. Chapter 77, The 10 Great Prodigies. Afterwards, Tianyu continued to use the Thunder Holy Wings to fly quickly above the secret realm. Many disciples below the secret realm could only feel a flash of blue light above their heads, and could not even see clearly what it was. "Fuck, what is that?" "A rocket," a sect disciple said as he watched Tianyu fly past quickly. "Are you stupid? There is no rocket in the secret realm." An irritable disciple who did not see Tianyu fly past immediately retorted. "Super, I said I saw it, so I saw it." This guy is also an irritable guy. Tianyu was flying, and with a bang, a golden light flashed in the sky in front of Tianyu, and the golden light rushed straight to the sky above the secret realm, forming a conspicuous cursor. "Huh? What the hell is this?" Tianyu didn't know what this thing was, but he felt that the movement was quite loud, and at least people dozens of kilometers away could see the cursor. Seeing the appearance of the cursor, many Soul Emperor Realm disciples in the secret realm directly started flying in the air and flew in the direction of the cursor. Although the Soul Emperor Realm can fly, it consumes a lot of soul power. However, compared with the temptation of the cursor, this amount of soul power consumption is nothing to them. "Oh? So crazy? What is under the cursor?" Then Tianyu used the power of space to directly grab a disciple who was flying quickly in the air and brought him in front of him. The passerby was confused when Tianyu first grabbed him, but then he reacted and said angrily, "I have something urgent to do, I'm going to fuck you." After 2 bangs, the irritable passerby immediately became obedient. Covering his swollen face from Tianyu's beating, he said humbly, "I don't know what's the matter with you, big brother." Tianyu put down his fist and smiled. "That's right, why were you so irritable just now? I just want to ask you, what is that golden light, why are they so anxious?" "Big brother, this is your first time entering the secret realm. That golden light is the golden light of the secret treasure in the secret realm. The secret realm golden light will appear from time to time in the secret realm. Every time the secret treasure golden light is refreshed, it means that a secret treasure has appeared. Every time the secret treasure golden light appears, the lowest quality treasure that descends is also the best soul weapon, so everyone is so crazy. After all, if you can grab one, your strength after going out can be greatly increased. I understand, you can go. Then Xianyu untied the space restraints of this irritable disciple. After discovering that he could move, this irritable disciple also hurriedly flew into the air. As he left, he thought to himself, it's too scary. I'm scared to death. Where did this big guy come from? How come he doesn't even recognize the secret treasure Jingguang? And his strength is too fucking terrifying. I couldn't even move in front of him just now. It's too scary. Secret treasure? Interesting, go grab. Oh no, pick up a few and bring them back as gifts for Xiao Wu and the others. Xianyu said and flew directly in the direction of the golden light. Xianyu was very fast. It took less than a moment to reach the distance of dozens of kilometers. Although Xianyu was very fast, many people had gathered under the golden light when he arrived. There was a golden light below, and various secret treasures were floating in the golden light. The treasure was clearly in front of them, but no one dared to step forward to grab it because a group of people were gathered in front of the secret treasure at this time. A disciple below cursed, "Damn Shanayan sect and Lingayan sect, these shameless things actually want to occupy the secret treasure with the advantage of numbers." Another disciple said, "There is no way, the disciples of the two sects actually united together. Shanayan sect and Lingayan sect are both first-class sects, and the strength of the disciples in the sect is very strong. In addition, the number of disciples from these two sects in the Qinghai secret realm this time is the largest, adding up to nearly 100 people, and most of them are above the soul sect realm." Another disciple trembled and said, "What's more desperate is that the two geniuses on the Xianjiao list of their two sects are present. Luo Dongyan and Lingchen are both level 64 soul emperors. There is no one between us who can beat them. Can we really watch them take away all the secret treasures and leave nothing for people like us from small sects?" After this person said this, everyone was silent. Most of them only have the strength of soul sect, and only a few are geniuses at the Soul King and Soul Emperor realms, but they still cannot compare with the other side. At the Shanayan sect and Lingayan sect, a young man said, "Brother Ling, did you see that? They are all afraid of us. No one dares to come forward. Later, our Shanayan sect will share the secret treasure with your Lingayan sect." The young man said expressionlessly, "Okay, I'll pick first." "Then let Brother Ling pick first." Although Luo Dongyan was a little reluctant, he thought that if they didn't form an alliance with the Lingayan sect, it would still be a bit difficult to get this secret treasure today. The two people who spoke were the two great geniuses of Shanayan sect and Lingayan sect, Luo Dongyan and Ling Chen. At this time, they had already begun to discuss how to divide the secret treasure. Obviously, they were sure that these secret treasures were theirs and no one dared to snatch them away. "Okay, Brother Dongyan, they don't dare to snatch the secret treasure anymore, so I'll pick first." After saying that, the young man named Ling Chen planned to take a secret treasure from the secret treasure golden light. Just when everyone thought that the golden light's secret treasure today must belong to Shanayan sect and Lingayan sect, suddenly, a figure walked towards the golden treasure leisurely, completely ignoring the disciples of Shanayan sect and Lingayan sect who were guarding the golden treasure. This person was very handsome, and he whistled as he walked under the golden light of the treasure, and directly reached out and took out a top-grade secret treasure. But this person did something that could make everyone present angry to death. After taking out the secret treasure, he said with disdain, "What a rubbish." Then he threw the top-grade secret treasure on the ground. This person was Xianyu himself. At this time, the people of Shanayan sect also reacted. After all, they never thought that there would be people who were not afraid of death. An irritable disciple of Shanayan sect immediately said, "Zhao Yuma, what are you doing?" Boom. But before he finished speaking, he was directly hit by a soul power and flew hundreds of meters away. The speed was so fast that no one present could see clearly how Xianyu made the move. Fuck. Several disciples of Shanayan sect and Lingayan sect shouted directly, and then rushed towards Xianyu with their martial spirits. But they were all carried away by Xianyu with one punch. Just when the disciples of Shanayan sect and Lingayan sect were about to go up and give their heads, the young man named Lingchen stopped the disciples of the sect who were giving their heads. Lingchen walked up to Xianyu and asked, "I don't know what you mean, brother." Xianyu replied indifferently, "I don't mean anything. Nothing, Then why did you trample on our secret treasure and hurt our disciples? Xianyu laughed. Do you want to make me laugh to death? Is this secret treasure yours? Why can't I take it? Also, didn't your disciples start with it? I just blocked it casually, and they fell down. What does it have to do with me? Who told them to be so weak? Seeing that he couldn't win over Xianyu, Lingchen threatened, do you want to be an enemy of our Lingayan sect? Xianyu laughed. What the hell is Lingayan sect? Lingayan couldn't stand it anymore. Xianyu didn't give him any face at all. After all, he was one of the top 10 geniuses. Chapter 78, One Hammer to Kill an Angry Old Man. A soul power full of sharp sword intent burst out from Lingchen's body. The faces of several Lingayan sect disciples standing near Lingchen were directly cut by the sharp sword intent, leaving several bloody marks. Then, a Xiao sword martial spirit gradually condensed in his hand. Seeing Lingchen's move, the Lingayan sect disciples on the side shouted excitedly, Senior Brother Lingchen has taken action, this guy is dead. Senior Brother Lingchen is the most talented disciple in our Lingayan sect in the past 100 years. He has broken through the Soul Emperor realm at the age of 22, and his martial spirit is a top-grade martial spirit, the Xiao sword. Once there was a Xiao who was also a level 64 Soul Emperor who wanted to challenge Senior Brother Lingchen for the position of the top 10 Xianjias. As a result, this person was killed by Senior Brother Lingchen's sword in less than 10 rounds. Lingchen held his sword, pointed at Xianyu, and said, Boy, kneel down and apologize now, and I will let you go. As a result, Xianyu laughed out loud. Sorry, I couldn't help it, haha. Xianyu quickly stopped and laughed. Lingchen's anger had reached its peak at this time, because the boy in front of him was so arrogant that he didn't take him seriously at all. Just when he was about to explode, Xianyu spoke. At this time, Xianyu's face was no longer smiling, and he said lightly, Have you pretended enough? If you have pretended enough, just lie down. When Xianyu said this, the people present still understood what he meant. But Xianyu's figure had disappeared from the spot, and he appeared in front of Lingchen in a teleportation. Xianyu's speed was too fast, and no one in the audience could react. Xianyu appeared in front of Lingchen, and he spun on the spot, and then he kicked down. Lingchen only felt that his body was instantly attacked by the tidal Douluo, and then the whole person was directly smashed into the ground by Xianyu. When everyone present reacted, Lingchen had been killed by Xianyu in one move. Because all they could see was Lingchen being stuck to the ground, completely losing his imposing manner, and Xianyu was standing on top of him. A disciple stammered, How is it possible? Lingchen was killed instantly. At this time, everyone realized that Lingchen, one of the top 10 geniuses, was really killed instantly by one move, and was now stepped on by Xianyu. Xianyu said indifferently, That's it? He's so weak. I thought he was so powerful, so boring. Then Xianyu said, Hey, the red-haired guy over there, aren't you in the same group with him? I beat up your brother, shouldn't you also beat me up? The red-haired guy Xianyu called was another genius present, Luo Dongyan. Luo Dongyan was already scared to death at this time. Because Lingchen, who was almost as strong as him, was killed instantly by Xianyu in one move, how could he dare to go up, and he and Lingchen were not close to this extent. As the saying goes, when my brother gets beaten, I pretend to be blind. Isn't this useful? Luo Dongyan said directly in a very humble tone, Brother, you misunderstood, I don't know this idiot named Lingchen. Luo Dongyan gave a look to the disciples of the hidden sect. A disciple of the hidden sect immediately said, Yes, brother, we really don't know this idiot named Lingchen. Yes, brother, we really don't know him. Fuck, hidden sect, you bastards, you just called us brothers and sisters, and now you turn your faces against us. A disciple of Lingayan sect cursed. A disciple of the hidden sect immediately explained, Don't spit blood on us, when did we call you brothers and sisters? You idiots. I'll beat you. When the two sides were about to fight, Xianyu said, Stop. I don't care if you recognize me or not. I want to take this secret treasure now. Do you have any objection? Since Luo Dongyan was the leader of the Xianyan sect, the disciples of the Xianyan sect did not move if Luo Dongyan did not move. But at this time, the disciples of the Lingayan sect were already angry. An irritable Lingayan disciple said, This is super fucking, brothers, come together, we don't believe that he can beat all 50 disciples of our sect. After saying that, he rushed up alone. With one person taking the lead, the other disciples of the Lingayan sect also released their martial spirits and rushed up, but they didn't know that they would know later that this would be the most regretful decision they had ever made. Tianyu said, "Hey, young man, why are you so irritable?" Then, a huge magic hammer appeared in Tianyu's hand. That's right, this is the Haoshan hammer, Super God Evolution, that Tianyu hasn't used for a long time. The Lingayan sect disciple who rushed over first was directly sent hundreds of meters away by Tianyu's heavy hammer. But there were more than 50 disciples of Lingayan sect, and then they rushed forward one by one. But they were all hit by Tianyu like playing baseball, and they were all hit hundreds of meters away. When nearly half of the disciples of Lingayan sect were hit and flew away, the disciples of Lingayan sect realized something was wrong. They found that Tianyu was a monster that they could not contend with. Tianyu basically hit one by one, whether it was a level 50 Soul King or a level 60 Soul Emperor, it was just a matter of one hammer in Tianyu's hands. Just when they were about to run away, Tianyu was already addicted to hitting them, and chased them and continued to hit them. The screams of the disciples of Lingayan sect spread all over the land. A disciple of the hidden sect who did not participate in the battle said, "We are really grateful to Brother Dongyan for his decision not to let me deal with that monster. It's so scary. Who is this monster? It's like hitting a chicken to hit those guys from the Lingayan sect. Fortunately, we didn't mess with him." Luo Dongyan, who was standing aside, was already sweating profusely. In fact, at the beginning, he had also thought about the two sects going up to deal with Tianyu together. Fortunately, he gave up this idea at that time and chose to admit defeat. As for the monster Tianyu, let alone the two sects with less than 100 people, even if they added hundreds of disciples from other sects who were watching the show, they would probably be sending heads to Tianyu. He is now thinking about how to continue to distance himself from the Lingayan sect. Otherwise, their hidden sect's half-month trip to the Qinghai secret realm may be uneasy. Other sect disciples on the side said, "It's so satisfying, finally someone can teach these Lingayan sect bastards a lesson. It's a pity that those Shanayan sect bastards got away with it." That's right, that's right. Which sect is this big shot from? Why haven't I seen him before? That's impossible. How come there is no news about such a powerful big shot before? I can be sure that this great god is definitely not on the top 10 prodigies list, because I remember the looks of all the prodigies on the list, but none of them looks as handsome as this big shot. Book Friends Group. 100,861,943. Join the group to urge for more updates. Please join the group. Chapter 79. Loki Tianyu. Tianyu just hammered them all away. Most of them suffered some physical pain. After all, he couldn't beat them all to death, and there was no deep hatred. What's more, Tianyu was just playing around. As long as they were not evil, Tianyu was too lazy to kill them. After all, Tianyu was not a murderer. On the contrary, he hated blood, so he tried not to bleed when he hit people, and the same was true when he killed people. Tianyu left them a few disciples who were still awake, because they had to find those disciples who were hammered away by Tianyu, otherwise they would be taken away by wild beasts in the wild. After Tianyu dealt with a group of people from Lingayan sect, he also swaggered towards the Golden Light's secret treasure. This time no one dared to stop him. Dozens of disciples of the Hidden God sect obediently protected Tianyu, fearing that someone would disturb Tianyu's selection of treasures. If a master like Tianyu got angry, their Hidden God sect might be in trouble. Tianyu glanced at the secret treasures in the Golden Light. There were at least dozens of secret treasures, but Tianyu didn't like most of them. He just took a few and prepared to leave. Seeing that Tianyu just took a few, Luo Dongyan on the side wondered, "Boss, why did you only take this?" He was originally prepared for Tianyu to take all the secret treasures and leave nothing for them. Tianyu said, "This is enough. People should know how to be content. The rest of the secret treasures can be divided between you Shanayan sect and other sects. Remember, line up and each sect will receive 2. Hearing what Tianyu said, the disciples of the small sects were almost moved to death. Then hundreds of people lined up obediently to receive the secret treasures. Luo Dongyan was dumbfounded. He didn't expect Tianyu to really take only a few pieces, and even distributed the remaining secret treasures to other small sects. But he didn't dare to disobey Tianyu's words, so he could only obediently become the one who distributed the secret treasures. Seeing the secret treasures being taken away by the smaller sects, Luo Dongyan felt so painful, because these secret treasures should have belonged to their Shan'an sect, but no one in his Shan'an sect dared to complain. Because Xian'ai was so kind and didn't beat them up like Lingyan sect did, they were already thankful. Moreover, they were able to get 2 of these secret treasures, which made the people in Shan'an sect, who originally thought that they would not get any secret treasures, burst into tears of gratitude. Xian'ai not only didn't beat them, but also distributed secret treasures to them, and also distributed secret treasures to the disciples of those small sects. Compared with what they did to Lingyan sect before and what Xian'ai did now, their previous behavior was really too bastard. There were about 20 sects among the hundreds of people present, and each sect took 2 pieces. The secret treasures were quickly distributed. After supervising them to distribute, Xian'ai was also ready to leave. At this time, those sects that received the favor of Xian'ai asked, "Boss, what's your name?" Xian'ai didn't look back, but just said casually, "People in the Jiang who call me Shi Lezi." After that, Xian'ai used the power of space to slip away, pretending to be gone. Only a group of disciples were left behind. Boss Shi is really a good person, much better than those bastards of Lingyan sect and Shan'an sect. That's right, he obviously has the strength to monopolize the secret treasures, but he distributed these secret treasures to small sects. This is the real boss. That Lingjin is a fart. He can't even take a move from Boss Shi. A disciple of a small sect said, "From today on, Master Shi Lezi is my idol. Master Shi Lezi is the strongest genius in my heart." Huh? Why do your words sound so familiar? Xian'ai used the thunder holy wings to fly over the secret realm. Xian'ai said helplessly, "I just entered the secret realm for 1 day today, and I was forced to pretend to be a boss twice. And this does not count the time before I entered the secret realm. The first time was because the fiery sun firebird insisted on making trouble, so I pretended to be a boss. The second time was because Ling Chen insisted on making trouble, so I was forced to pretend to be a boss again. No, I can't pretend to be a boss anymore, because this is different from my style. I am obviously a low-key person." "Yeah, low-key." Then Xian'ai landed on the ground, and he didn't need the Thunder Saint wings anymore, and just walked directly. He changed his handsome clothes into cheap low-priced soul weapon armor, suppressed his soul power and became a level 31 soul master. He even took some mud from his face and smeared it on his handsome face. Xian'ai took out a mirror and said with satisfaction, "No one should come to trouble me now." Just as Xian'ai was about to continue looking for Jinring Su, a nice female voice rang out help. Xian'ai's face fell on the spot, and he was about to pretend that he didn't hear it and run away. The nice female voice sounded again, saying, "Brother over there, please help me. Alice, it's me who's calling. I really don't want to pretend anymore. I just want to find my Zuir." Xian'ai could only turn around helplessly. What caught his eye was a very beautiful girl. Behind the girl were several ferocious young men chasing her. Seeing Xian'ai stop and turn around, the girl also quickly hid behind Xian'ai. The girl begged, "Young man, please save me." Seeing that the girl seemed to have found a helper, the few people chasing the girl also stopped quickly. A ferocious young man stood up and said, "Blood sex actions, if you know what's good for you, get out of here." "Okay." After saying that, Xian'ai was ready to leave. "Hey, are you still a man?" Seeing Xian'ai was about to leave, the woman said anxiously. Being called not a man, Xian'ai also stopped immediately. How could Xian'ai bear to be called not a man? Xian'ai turned around and said to the fierce men, "Get out of here quickly. I don't want to kill anyone." When he finished speaking, his soul power was released. The fierce young men stayed for a while, and then burst into crazy laughter. "Ha ha ha, I'm dying of laughter. A level 30 soul master dares to be so arrogant. That's right, that's right. At first, I thought he was some master. He was so calm. He turned out to be a fool. Brother, don't talk so much nonsense with him. Kill him quickly and kidnap Xiaolinger from Yaoling Valley. Our brothers behind us can't hold back the people from Yaoling Valley for too long." Xiaolinger, who was hiding behind Xian'ai, was also desperate because she also felt Xian'ai's soul power level. At first, seeing Xian'ai's calm appearance, she thought Xian'ai was some reliable master, but it turned out to be a soul master with only level 31 soul power. The other party has 4 peak soul kings and a soul emperor. How could Xianyu, a soul master, beat the other party? Xiao Linger grabbed Xianyu's hand and said guiltily, I'm sorry, I hurt you. She didn't blame Xianyu for being so weak, but blamed herself for hurting Xianyu. Book Friends Group 100,861,943. Join the group to urge for more, please. Join the group. Chapter 80, The Name of the Jianghu. Looking at the desperate men rushing towards him, Xianyu just smiled faintly and said, Oh, I forgot to lift the restrictions. Then Xianyu lifted the restrictions. At the moment when Xianyu lifted the restrictions, a terrifying soul power burst out from Xianyu's body, directly knocking away the oncoming desperate men. When the smoke dissipated, Xianyu had returned to his normal appearance. Xiao Linger, who was standing by, was stunned. After all, an ordinary-looking person suddenly turned into an invincible super handsome guy in the universe. Anyone would be surprised. A blood sect member said, You actually had your strength? I wanted to keep a low profile, but you insisted on looking for trouble. I gave you a chance, but you insisted on looking for death? I saw a silver-white longsword appear directly in his hand. The Soul Emperor blood sect member who felt something was wrong said, Zhao, we met a master, retreat quickly. Then he ran away first. Seeing that the boss had run away, the remaining blood sect disciples also hurried away. Young man, they are going to run away. Xiao Linger reminded Xianyu. Xianyu said calmly, Don't worry, they can't run away. Then Xianyu casually swung a sword, but this casual sword burst out with terrifying power. A silver-white sword light directly caught up with a blood sect disciple who had already run several kilometers away. The Soul King Realm disciple had quickly activated his defensive soul skills, but was still killed by Xianyu's sword. Seeing the corpses of his companions who had been killed by Xianyu after running so far, he also desperately activated his acceleration soul skills to escape. Xianyu sneered, I said, no one can escape. Xianyu swung 3 more swords. The silver-white sword light caught up with the remaining 4 blood sect disciples again in less than a moment. 2 sword lights directly killed 2 blood sect disciples, and the remaining sword light directly slashed the boss. Just when the sword light was about to hide him, the blood sect leader's vicious soul skill directly hit a blood sect disciple next to him. The blood sect disciple was caught off guard by his boss's sudden move, and his speed slowed down. He said, Boss, you. But before he finished speaking, he was killed by Xianyu's sword. Xianyu watched the show from a distance and said, Tisk, 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 so vicious. In order to survive, he even betrayed his own people. Then I can't let you live. A black soul ring rose on Xianyu's body, soul skill, 9 killings, 1 sword to punish evil. Then a sword that cut through the sky was quickly cut out from Xianyu's 9-killing sword. This sword, he was very fast and handsome. Seeing this terrifying sword coming towards him, the blood sect boss directly took out all the life-saving magic weapons on his body. But it was meaningless. Even though he had a strong desire to survive, the final result was that he was killed by Xianyu's sword. Because the power of Xianyu's sword was too great, this person died without even ashes left. Just like what Xianyu said, I have given you a chance, but you didn't cherish it. Unfortunately, there is only one chance. Do you regret it? It's too late. Xiao Linger, who was standing aside, had already been fascinated by it and thought to herself, this young man is so handsome. It can be said that Xianyu's current state is the most handsome she has ever seen in her life. Because Xianyu has entered the state of being possessed by the 9-killing sword martial spirit at this time, it is normal for Xiao Linger to think that he is handsome, because Xianyu himself thinks that the state of being possessed by this martial spirit is the most handsome. After dealing with a group of people, Xianyu turned around and saw the girl on the ground, bleeding in her calf, which was obviously the wound left by the group of people just chasing her. Xianyu immediately squatted down, lifted the girl's dress, and revealed her fair legs. But what was out of tune with the fair legs was a sword wound. Xianyu gently placed his hand on the wound, and a mysterious healing power flowed directly into the girl's wound. The girl did not resist, and he knew that Xianyu was going to heal her. Under the healing power of the system, the girl's wounds were healing at a speed visible to the naked eye. In less than a moment, her fair skin was restored. Xianyu's miraculous treatment stunned the girl beside him, because she had never seen such a miraculous medical skill. Okay, young lady, I have dealt with the villains, I can go now. Hearing that Xianyu was leaving, Xiao Linger hurriedly said, "Young man, wait a moment." Xianyu stopped and said, "Young lady, is there anything else?" Xiao Linger shyly said, Well, can I know your name?" Xianyu smiled and said, "People in the world call you Li Bai." "Li Bai, what a nice name." Xiao Linger murmured. "Oh, by the way, Master Bai, my name is Xiao Linger, and I am the daughter of the head of Yaoling Valley. When we leave the secret realm, I will definitely repay Master Li for saving my life." Xianyu said, "Xiao Linger, it's a nice name, but there's no need to repay. I have something to do now, so I'll leave first. Miss, see you again in the rivers and lakes." Then Xianyu disappeared in the blink of an eye. Xiao Linger looked at Xianyu who was leaving and said, "Master Li Bai is so handsome and so powerful. I feel that my heart belongs to Master Li Bai now." Not long after Xianyu left, more than a dozen figures appeared beside Xiao Linger and knelt down in unison. The leading young man said, "Miss, I'm sorry, I'm late to save you." Xiao Linger said lightly, "It's okay, you guys get up. I didn't expect that the people of the blood sect would actually send so many masters to kidnap me. How many brothers have been lost?" Xiao Linger said. The leading disciple reported, "Miss, the damn blood sect sent out nearly 100 masters this time. We suffered a loss in numbers and lost more than 10 disciples. There are only a dozen of us left." The dozen disciples led by this disciple all had scars of varying sizes, obviously having just fought a fierce battle. After hearing the number of people, Xiao Linger clenched her fists. She actually lost more than a dozen fellow disciples. These were all disciples of Yaoling Valley, all of whom had feelings and sacrificed for her. Xiao Linger thought to herself, "Damn blood sect, I will make you pay." The leading Yaolingu disciple asked in confusion, "Miss, why are you unharmed? Where are those blood sect members?" They had just been entangled by the blood sect members and could only watch their young lady being captured by them. Originally, he thought that when they found her, she might be injured, but unexpectedly, her body was completely free of injuries, just like nothing happened. This really shocked them. Moreover, they saw the bodies of 4 blood sect members on their way to rescue. Xiao Linger said indifferently, "Just when I was forced into a desperate situation by a few villains, a handsome young man Bai suddenly appeared and saved me. Young man Bai is super handsome and super powerful. He killed those villains with just a few swords." Xiao Linger became more and more obsessed as she spoke. "Otherwise, how can you still see me now?" The leading young man said, "Miss, where's that young man?" "That young man has left for something." Xiao Linger said, "Miss, we must repay that young man when the time comes." "Humph, you don't need me to tell you, I already know how to repay young Master Bai." Chapter 81 System Mission. After pretending to be cool, Xianyu started to wander around the secret realm again. "I clearly agreed not to pretend to be cool anymore. How long has it been? I was forced to pretend to be cool again. Fortunately, not many people saw it. This shouldn't be considered pretending to be cool, right? By the way, I seem to have heard of the blood sect somewhere. I remember now. Isn't it the sect behind the fierce god team that destroyed the last time in the soul fighting arena? Sure enough, they are all a group of villains. I guess they have already put me on the must-kill list last time. After all, I destroyed a team of their elites. But I don't mind the trouble of coming here. I'll just kill them. For such villains, I don't mind killing more." As Xianyu was talking, he came to a sea area. Qinghai secret realm, how can there be no sea? Xianyu looked at the sea area and thought, should I go down to this sea area to play, or go find Zuir Ling? Trigger the secret realm mission, subdue the strongest soul beast in the sea area, the 100,000-year-old Qinghai Dragon Emperor. Author, this sea area is full of dangers. Whether the host chooses to accept the mission. Is there any need to consider this? I like this kind of sea area that is full of dangers and dangerous sea areas. Then Xianyu plunged directly into this sea area. System. As soon as Xianyu entered the water, he sensed that there was something wrong with the sea water. The icy cold sea water began to invade his body directly. If ordinary soul masters were to soak in this ultra-low temperature seawater, if they did not use their soul power to resist the cold erosion of the seawater, they would probably not be able to hold on for long before their body temperature would be too low and they would have to leave the sea area. But this little problem was like nothing to Xianyu, and Xianyu did not need to release his soul power to resist the cold erosion of the seawater. This level of seawater was like a cold shower for him. Just when Tianyu was admiring the scenery in the sea. But little did he know that beauty is often accompanied by danger. Not far away, a huge figure rushed directly towards Tianyu. The moment Tianyu entered the water, he knew that something was staring at him. Tianyu dodged the attack with a slight dodge. When Tianyu saw clearly, he found that it was a huge monster fish that was biting him with its bloody mouth. It really is full of dangers, but I just got into the water, and you are so enthusiastic, is that really okay? After saying that, he directly punched the strange fish out of the sea with a powerful meteor punch, and it flew hundreds of meters high, and then fell back into the water. Tianyu did not use any force, so the strange fish was fine after falling back into the sea, but when it looked at Tianyu, the fish's eyes were full of fear. Tianyu suddenly grinned at it. The strange fish ran away without even looking back. Tianyu said contemptuously, "Tisk, you have the guts to eat me, but you don't have the guts to continue to take my 2 punches." After saying that, Tianyu continued to swim towards the bottom of the sea. This sea is so big, how can I find the 100,000-year-old soul beast mentioned in the system task? The system just said that the 100,000-year-old Qinghai Dragon King is the strongest soul beast in this sea, which means she should be the boss of this sea. As long as I beat up all her soul beast brothers, she should come out. Tianyu did it right away, and went directly to find those high-level soul beasts to fight. In the sea, a huge shark soul beast of 90,000 years old was hunting a fish soul beast of 10,000 years old. The huge shark soul beast was seen slowly chasing after the small fish that was many times smaller than it. Even if the small fish soul beast was running desperately, the huge shark soul beast could easily catch up. Because this shark soul beast is the best among fish soul beasts, the extreme shadow sea shark, which has a very fast speed in the ocean and can even be invisible when fighting in the ocean. It is a kind of sea soul beast that sea soul masters hate very much, because their speed in the sea is too fast and extremely difficult to deal with. Similarly, the extreme shadow shark is also a sea soul beast that sea soul masters like to choose as a soul ring. I saw that this extreme shadow sea shark had clearly caught up with the 10,000-year-old small fish soul beast, but it did not swallow the small fish soul beast in one bite, but only bit off the meat on the small fish, and then continued to watch the small fish continue to jump and run with a bloody wound. He is 80,000 years old and is already an intelligent soul beast, but he enjoys continuing to chase and kill the small fish soul beast. Perhaps this is the innate brutal nature of shark soul beasts. Tianyu couldn't bear to watch this scene. Although this was the natural selection in the soul beast world, he felt uncomfortable when he saw this perverted way of feeding. He could have given the other party a quick death, but he still tortured the other party's body and spirit before killing the other party. The huge shadow shark seemed to have had enough fun, so it was ready to eat the small fish in one bite. Tianyu moved. With a powerful meteor punch, the huge shark was directly blasted away. The huge body was directly blasted away by Tianyu, and the huge force directly caused a huge sonic boom in the water. The shadow shark was stunned by this punch, thinking in its head, "Where am I? What happened to me?" But it didn't react yet. Tianyu punched it again, blasting its huge fish body out of the water, floating in the air for a while, and then smashed it back into the sea. At this time, it finally woke up, and its fish pupils opened wide and it was about to escape. But Tianyu smiled evilly. A space force appeared in front of the fleeing shark. The extreme shadow shark looked at Tianyu in horror, then turned around and ran. Tianyu once again appeared in front of the extreme shadow shark with a space force without rushing. At this time, the extreme shadow shark also reacted. No matter how fast it was impossible for it to get rid of Tianyu, who came out of nowhere. The extreme shadow shark also made up its mind and directly opened its bloody mouth to bite Tianyu. Its nearly 100-meter body was in sharp contrast with Tianyu's body. But Tianyu didn't take this shark seriously at all. He punched it directly and broke several of the extreme shadow shark's more than 10-meter-long fangs. Then he punched the extreme shadow shark in the chin again, and knocked out another row of teeth of the extreme shadow shark. Although Tianyu didn't use any force, every punch he hit on the extreme shadow shark made the extreme shadow shark scream, and every punch had several big white teeth flying out. After Tianyu's beating, the extreme shadow shark's teeth were almost all gone, and his body was bruised and swollen by Tianyu. Tianyu didn't even need to activate his soul power to beat this 90,000-year-old extreme shadow shark, because after integrating so many super god-level martial spirits, Tianyu's physique has become so strong that no one knows how strong it is. Tianyu also chased the extreme shadow shark like the extreme shadow shark chased the small fish. The extreme shadow shark jumped and ran desperately, while Tianyu chased him like a demon from behind, and punched the extreme shadow shark in the forehead from time to time. Book Friends Group 100,861,943. Join the group to urge for more updates. Please join the group. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 82. Tianyu fights 3 alone. The extreme shadow shark could only run desperately, because it knew that it was impossible to run away, and it could only go to ask for help. The extreme shadow shark looked like it was being chased by Tianyu and was running for its life without thinking, but in fact it sensed that several of its big brothers in the sea were rushing in their direction. The extreme shadow shark nodded its little head with newborn intelligence, thinking that Tianyu didn't know what it was plotting. Little did it know that Tianyu had already known everything clearly with his walnut-sized brain. Tianyu thought to himself, "You just want to lead me to other powerful soul beasts, but this is exactly what I want." The extreme shadow shark didn't know that it was bringing a big surprise to its soul beast brothers. This extreme shadow shark didn't know how long it had been chased by Tianyu. It only knew that it was almost dead now, and its fins were almost broken, and it was afraid that it would be hit by Tianyu's punch, for fear that it would stop swimming, and Tianyu was still chasing it slowly from behind. The extreme shadow shark looked back, and Tianyu looked relaxed at this time, not like a person who had chased it for tens of thousands of kilometers. Not to mention humans, even fish would be exhausted after swimming tens of thousands of kilometers in the sea, but Tianyu looked like nothing happened. The extreme shadow shark cursed in his heart, "Fuck, is this still a human? I have eaten many humans before, but I remember they were all very weak. How come the one I met today is so strong? It's so damn unlucky. Usually I chase those weak humans, but today I was chased by a human for tens of thousands of miles. If it gets out, how can I survive in this sea area? No, I want revenge. I just need to hold on a little longer. I will soon reach the sea area of the big brothers." Just when the extreme shadow shark was about to die of exhaustion, it finally swam to the sea area of its big brothers. As soon as the extreme shadow shark entered this sea area, it began to release a strange mental power. As soon as the extreme shadow shark transmitted all this mental power, 3 huge figures appeared not far away. The pressure released by each of these 3 figures was dozens of times stronger than that of the extreme shadow shark, and each of them was also many times larger than the extreme shadow shark. Each of them was a giant beast of nearly 1,000 meters. It was probably because they were sea soul beasts that they ate better. Tianyu also saw the appearance of these 3 huge creatures, but they all looked too ugly, and Tianyu could not recognize what kind of soul beast they were. System, check the soul beast information. Ling. Soul beast, 9-clawed demon fish, octopus with 9 claws, age 230,000 years, introduction, one of the 10 generals under the Qinghai Dragon Emperor. Ling. Soul beast, demon horned whale, whale with horns, age 250,000 years, introduction, one of the 10 generals under the Qinghai Dragon Emperor. Ling. Soul beast, demon sea monster, age 280,000, introduction, one of the 10 generals under the Qinghai Dragon Emperor. Oh, 3 soul beasts of more than 200,000 years old. I didn't expect that the Qinghai Dragon Emperor actually had so many soul beasts of 100,000 years old as his subordinates. How powerful must the Qinghai Dragon Emperor be? 800,000 years? 900,000 years? If the age of the Qinghai Dragon Emperor is really 800,000 or 900,000 years, it would be difficult for Tianyu to tame it. After all, it is a soul beast close to the divine realm. Tianyu said that he is not strong enough now, and the gap between him and the divine realm is still a bit big. But it is still very simple for Tianyu to smash the 3 soul beasts in front of him. I saw that the extreme shadow shark said something to the 3 soul beasts. The 3 soul beasts attacked Tianyu directly with great momentum. The attacks released by the three soul beasts of more than 200,000 years old are no joke. Facing the attacks of these three soul beasts of more than 200,000 years old, Xianyu also had to open his martial spirit. Xianyu thought about it and chose to release three super god-level martial spirits, namely the Dark Holy Dragon Emperor, the Golden Holy Dragon Emperor, and the Thunder Holy Dragon Emperor. To deal with 300,000-year-old soul beasts, Xianyu did not need to release the Holy Dragon of Destruction and the Seraph. The nearly 1,000-meter-long demon sea beast punched Xianyu directly, and its huge fist was many times bigger than Xianyu. Xianyu's height of 1.9 meters seemed so small under that fist. But big does not mean strong strength. Xianyu's body is concentrated with essence. A black soul ring rose from Xianyu's feet. Xianyu said, "The third soul skill, the ultimate golden destruction fist." A golden holy light quickly condensed in Xianyu's hand, and then he punched out quickly. Xianyu's ordinary fist collided fiercely with a huge fist of the demon sea beast, which was 100 meters long. Just one collision, the winner was determined. The punch of the demon sea beast was directly defeated by Xianyu's punch. The huge body of the demon sea beast directly pushed Xianyu back more than 10 kilometers, and dent scars appeared on the huge arm. The demon sea beast was shocked and thought, how is it possible? This small body can burst out such a terrifying power. If it weren't for my high defense, my hand would be gone. Is he still a human? I have to call the other brothers, otherwise I might not be able to defeat him. What kind of monster did that bastard Extreme Shadow Shark attract? After the demon sea beast was repelled, the other two soul beasts also launched an attack. The huge body of the demon horn whale directly hit Xianyu. The demon whale's horn kills. The huge demon horn, which is 100 meters long, rushed directly to Xianyu with terrifying power. The power of this attack was enough to kill a tidal Douluo in seconds. But Xianyu faced this terrifying attack and just said slowly, "The fourth soul skill, the ultimate golden holy sword slash." A huge golden holy sword quickly condensed in Xianyu's hand. Then Xianyu slashed with a sword. The golden holy sword collided with a huge demon horn of the demon horn whale. It is true that the horn of the demon horn whale can kill a tidal Douluo in seconds. But Xianyu's sword can kill the ultimate Douluo in seconds. The golden holy sword cut off the 100-meter-long magic horn of the magic horn whale from its head. The magic horn whale without the magic horn is like a tiger without teeth. Xianyu hit it with a golden fist and hit it directly. Then the 9-clawed magic fish continued to attack Xianyu. The 9 huge tentacles directly tied Xianyu up, and the huge power of the 9 tentacles directly wrapped Xianyu tightly, leaving Xianyu with no room to move. It seems that the 9-clawed magic fish wants to suffocate him to death. But Xianyu's Thunder Holy Dragon is not a decoration. A black soul ring rose from Xianyu's feet. Xianyu said, "The fourth soul skill, the ultimate thunder killing formation." A terrifying thunder formation condensed at a very fast speed above the 9-clawed magic fish. When the 9-clawed magic fish realized that something was wrong, the thunder formation had already brought down the terrifying thunder. Dozens of terrifying thunderbolts all struck the huge body of the 9-clawed demon fish. The 9-clawed demon fish was directly electrocuted by the thunderbolt and screamed miserably. Xianyu also took the opportunity to cut off several tentacles of the 9-clawed demon fish with a thunderbolt, and the 9-clawed demon fish screamed in pain. In the next chapter, Xianyu will challenge 10,000-year soul beasts, book friends group. 100,861,943 join the group to urge for updates. Please join the group. Chapter 83 Xianyu wants to fight 10 alone. Now, the 3 soul beasts have been seriously injured by Xianyu. Xianyu crippled one hand of the demon sea beast, cut off the most important demon horn of the demon horn whale, and cut off 5 of the 9 tentacles of the 9-clawed demon fish. If Xianyu took advantage of the victory at this time, he could easily get rid of the 3 soul beasts. But Xianyu refused. Xianyu was seen sitting on a sea stone, with his legs crossed, and arrogantly said to the 3 soul beasts, "How many people are there? Oh no, how many soul beasts are there? Call them, I want to fight 10. The demon sea beast spoke in human language, "Human boy, don't be arrogant, wait for our brothers to come, it will be your death." After hearing Xianyu's provocation, the 3 soul beasts were furious. They were usually the overlords of this sea area. When had they ever suffered such anger? But they couldn't beat Xianyu now, so they could only call for help. The other soul beasts were more terrifying than the three of them. When the 10 beasts surrounded Xianyu, they didn't believe that Xianyu could still be so arrogant. Xianyu sat there arrogantly waiting for them to call for help. Just when Xianyu was impatient and ready to beat the three guys in front of him, suddenly, several terrifying soul powers came from afar and soon arrived at the sea where Xianyu was now. What caught Xianyu's eyes were 7 huge bodies. System, check the soul beast information. Soul beast, Xianhe Dragon King, year 500,000 years, introduction, one of the 10 generals under the Qinghai Dragon King, and also the strongest soul beast in the sea area except the Qinghai Dragon King. It has the ability to control the sea, and its strength should not be underestimated. Soul beast, Haidang Demon Star, year 300,000 years, introduction, one of the 10 generals under the Qinghai Dragon King. The huge magic eye in the center of the body can emit terrifying soul power lasers, and has the ability to recover the whole body. Soul beast, Giant Demon Sea Soul Whale, year 400,000 years, introduction, one of the 10 generals under the Qinghai Dragon Emperor, with a huge body and terrifying demon soul power. Soul beast, Saber-Toothed Demon Tiger Shark, year 400,000 years, introduction, one of the 10 generals under the Qinghai Dragon Emperor, brutal by nature, with a mouth full of terrifying saber teeth that can tear any object apart. Soul beast, Nine-Headed Sea Demon Python, year 400,000 years, introduction, one of the 10 generals under the Qinghai Dragon Emperor, with 9 snake heads and a huge body, each of which can release an elemental force. Soul beast, Sea Demon Giant Crocodile, year 400,000 years, introduction, one of the 10 generals under the Qinghai Dragon Emperor, with a huge body, and the scales on its body have super high defense, and a pair of giant jaws have a terrifying power that can tear everything apart. Soul beast, Sea Spirit Black Tortoise, year 400,000 years, introduction, one of the 10 generals under the Qinghai Dragon Emperor. The tortoise shell on its body has super strong defense and can use the power of the ocean to form a shield. Oh? One is 500,000 years old, 5 are 400,000 years old, and 1 is 300,000 years old. The 10 generals under the Qinghai Dragon Emperor are all here. It seems that I have to have a good fight today. It's just right to test what level my real strength is. As soon as the sea demon crocodile arrived and saw Xianyu's appearance, he immediately laughed at the 3 sea demon beasts beside him. You 3 are too useless. You can't even deal with this weak human. The sea demon beast immediately retorted, you know shit. This human is not the humans you met before, his strength is very strong. Is he really that strong? The sea demon crocodile doubted. Well, this human's attack method is very unusual. He can ignore our defense, and his pure strength is also terrifying. The sea demon beast said in horror. The sea spirit black tortoise said, can it break this turtle's defense? The sea spirit black tortoise's defense is the strongest among the soul beasts, and it is confident that Xianyu cannot break its defense. The sea demon beast, I don't know, you can tell by looking at my hand. The sea demon beast that was fighting with Xianyu was drooping weakly, and it was obviously seriously injured. When the begonia demon star next to it saw it, a strange energy was released from its magic eye. The hand of the sea demon beast that was seriously injured by Xianyu was healed instantly. The magic corn whale and the 9-clawed demon fish were also healed. The 3 seriously injured 100,000-year soul beasts were healed instantly. The healing magic of the begonia demon star is really strong. The other beasts were eager to fight Xianyu, but their general, the Xianhe Dragon King, did not speak, so they could only suppress their hearts. The Xianhe Dragon King, the strongest among them, did not speak, but just looked at Xianyu quietly. The seriousness revealed in his huge dragon eyes showed that he could feel the power of Xianyu at this time. The Xianhe Dragon King spoke up and said, human, why do you want to offend us? If you retreat now, we won't bother you about injuring several of our generals. It seems that this Xianhe Dragon King has seen that Xianyu's strength is definitely not simple. If they really fight, it will probably not be good for them. It is not like the extreme shadow shark, a low-energy soul beast with a newborn intelligence. As a soul beast of more than 500,000 years, its intelligence has already surpassed most humans. So it will consider the good and the bad before doing anything. Xianyu said, to make a long story short, I just want to beat you one by one. And I also want to subdue your boss Qinghai Dragon King to be my pet. What? As soon as Tianyu said this, the 10 soul beasts present were shocked. Because they all felt that Tianyu was too ignorant and arrogant. They all knew very well what kind of existence their master was. And Tianyu came up and said that he wanted to take their master as a pet. Tianyu not only ignored their master, but also ignored them. Xianhei Dragon King snorted coldly, "Ignorant human, wait until you defeat us." Xianhei Dragon King gave a look. The demon sea giant crocodile said, "Let me see if you are really as amazing as the sea monster said." The sea monster giant crocodile opened its huge crocodile mouth and bit Tianyu directly. Facing so many 100,000-year soul beasts, Tianyu was a little more serious. The 5 holy dragons of light, darkness, gold, thunder, and bone god, space, appeared directly in Tianyu. In his left hand was a 9-killing sword, in his right hand was a magic hammer, and there were magic vines floating around him. Except for the 2 super god level martial souls, all the super god level martial souls on Tianyu were released. After seeing so many martial spirits around Tianyu, Xianhei Dragon King was also shocked. What? It actually has so many martial spirits. The author explains that the secret realm is actually a separate space, that is, another small world, so there are so many high-year soul beasts in it. I am afraid that some readers who have not read fantasy novels don't know, so I will explain it. Chapter 84, 1 against 10, No Pressure. The other 100,000-year soul beasts may not know what it means for Tianyu to have so many martial souls, but it is the strongest and most experienced among the 10 beast generals. It knows very well how terrifying it is for Tianyu to have so many martial souls. After all, it has not lived for hundreds of thousands of years. On Tianyu's side, facing the giant crocodile that bit him, Tianyu just smiled slightly, then swung the magic hammer and smashed it directly. The huge forces of the 2 sides collided directly with each other. The sea demon giant crocodile was blown away by Tianyu's magic hammer at a glance. The huge body of the giant crocodile was instantly hammered away by a blow, and it retreated directly and hit the sea surface fiercely. When the beasts looked at the giant crocodile, the head of the sea demon giant crocodile was almost hammered. I saw that several teeth in the crocodile's mouth fell off, and the crocodile's head was hammered by Tianyu's hammer, bleeding from all 7 orifices. However, with a begonia demon star, the sea demon giant crocodile was only illuminated by a strange magic light, and it instantly recovered to life. The Dragon King of Xianhei said, "This human strength is not simple. You all come together." Hearing the order from the general, the remaining 900,000-year soul beasts also attacked Tianyu with great momentum. The sea demon crocodile and saber-toothed demon tiger shark, the demon sea beast, and the demon horn whale that were restored by Haidang demon star attacked Tianyu directly. Demon crocodile giant tooth absolute kill. Saber-toothed whirlwind thorn. Explosive hammer. Demon horn absolute kill. Tianyu tightly grasped the magic hammer, and a black soul ring rose from under Tianyu's feet. Tianyu roared, "God's punishment hammer." The magic hammer in Tianyu's hand directly burst out with terrifying power, and then a hammer carrying terrifying power was directly swung at the several beast generals who rushed over. With a bang, the terrifying pure power collision of both sides directly produced a huge sonic boom on the seabed. Tianyu's body only retreated a dozen meters on the seabed. The demon sea giant crocodile and saber-toothed demon tiger shark and other beasts were directly blown away by Tianyu's terrifying hammer for several thousand meters, and they were all seriously injured. But their real attack was not from the monster sea crocodile and saber-toothed monster tiger shark, but from several soul beasts that were gathering killing moves in the distance. Begonia demon star, demon eye death light. Giant demon sea soul whale, demon soul light wave. 9-clawed demon fish, P-laser. 9-headed demon sea python, element destruction light. 4 killing moves that gathered terrifying soul power were shot directly at Tianyu. Tianyu did not intend to dodge this move, mainly because he could not dodge it, and could only resist it with his flesh. The Bone God Holy Dragon and the Golden Holy Dragon directly activated their defensive soul skills, because these 2 martial souls had the highest defense among Tianyu's many martial souls. 2 black soul rings rose from Tianyu's feet, and Tianyu's physique was instantly greatly improved. 2 golden holy armors and Bone God armors condensed by soul power also appeared on Tianyu's body. 4 light waves that were enough to smash the Super Douluo directly hit Tianyu. Tianyu stood there and let several terrifying soul power light waves hide him. I saw several lasers output madly on Tianyu's body. The beasts such as the Begonia Demon Star and the giant Demon Soul Whale also used up their energy to output killing moves. This attack of concentrated fire lasted for a long time, until the soul power of several beasts was almost exhausted, and they stopped. The light wave dissipated, revealing the figure of Tianyu, who was standing not far away intact at this time. His clothes were not damaged at all, but there were several cracks on his golden holy armor and bone holy armor. Seeing Tianyu who was intact despite so many attacks from them, the beasts who had just released the attack also collapsed. How can this be played? Tianyu not only has an absurdly high attack, but also has abnormal defense. They tried their best to concentrate fire but could not cause any damage to Tianyu. Now they can only pin their hopes on this Hanhei Dragon King. Tianyu held the 9 killing sword in his hand, and a sword with terrifying power was slashed out instantly, which scared the beasts to death. But a voice sounded, "Have you forgotten this turtle?" Then a huge figure directly blocked the beasts. Tianyu's casual sword slashed directly at the figure, but it only caused a few ripples. When Tianyu saw it clearly, he found that it was the sea spirit black tortoise. Tianyu almost forgot that there was such a thing. Tianyu sneered and said, "I'm not serious yet? You don't think you can really take my sword?" A cold light flashed in Tianyu's eyes while speaking. The sea spirit black tortoise immediately felt a bad premonition. Tianyu raised the 9 killing sword above his head, and a black soul ring rose from his feet. 9 killing sword style soul breaking sword. Then a 1,000-meter-long silver-white sword energy slashed directly at the black tortoise, blocking the beasts. Wherever this 1,000-meter-long silver-white sword energy passed, a long crack appeared on the seabed. You can imagine how terrifying this sword is. Feeling the horror of this sword, the sea spirit black tortoise was also shocked and quickly activated the strongest trick, Sea Spirit Holy Shield. A blue holy shield that gathered the essence of the sea instantly appeared in front of the beasts. Tianyu's handsome sword slashed directly on it. Tianyu always only needed to use one sword to attack, and never needed to use the second sword, and this time was no exception. The moment the silver-white sword energy slashed the holy shield of the sea spirit, the holy shield of the sea spirit was directly cut in half by Tianyu's sword. Without the holy shield blocking it, the terrifying sword continued to slash at the beasts curled up in a ball. At this time, the Hanhei Dragon King who had been watching also made a move. The Hanhei Dragon King instantly appeared in front of the beasts, and then the blue light in his eyes flashed. A water wall with mysterious power appeared directly in front of the beasts. Strangely, Tianyu's sword energy slashed on it and only caused a few water waves, and then disappeared. Tianyu smiled slightly and said, "Oh? Interesting, it seems that you are a little better than them. But I'm still a little worse than you." There is a reason why this Hanhei Dragon King said this. The Hanhei Dragon King was very shocked. Because if we compare Tianyu's appearance and soul power level with a human standard, that is to say, Tianyu is only in his teens now, and his realm is almost the realm of humans at the beginning. Tianyu only took more than 10 years to reach the realm that their soul beasts took hundreds of thousands of years to reach. For this reason, the Dragon King of Hanhei had to admit that Tianyu is powerful and terrifying. If Tianyu grows up for a few more years, even their masters will not be Tianyu's opponents. At that time, they may really become Tianyu's pets. But thinking that Tianyu has such a strong strength and talent, it seems that becoming Tianyu's pet is not a bad thing. But as a dragon, the pride in his blood does not allow him to become someone else's pet. Even if he dies, he can't become someone else's pet. I won't do it even if I die. There is absolutely no such thing as true fragrance. Book Friends Group 100,861,943. Join the group to urge for more. Please join the group. Chapter 85 Tianyu vs Hanhei Dragon King. The mysterious blue light flashed in the eyes of this Hanhei Dragon King. The seawater around Tianyu suddenly became strange. Tianyu saw this and said, "Is this the power that can control the sea?" The seawater centered on Tianyu all squeezed towards Tianyu. The seawater in this sea area is not ordinary seawater. The density of the seawater in this sea area is much greater than that of ordinary seawater. The force caused by the squeezing of so much seawater is not small. Tianyu instantly felt a strong sense of squeezing on his body. This blow was enough to squeeze and burst an ordinary Super Douluo, but fortunately Tianyu's physique was strong, and this move did not cause much damage to him, but it was a little difficult to move. Tianyu laughed and said, "That's it." The Xianhe Dragon King did not speak, but the blue dragon pupil continued to urge. Every drop of water controlled by the Xianhe Dragon King seemed to have a strange magic power. The sea water centered on Tianyu instantly began to rotate, and the speed became faster and faster, and finally formed a water tornado, and Tianyu was at the center of the water tornado at this time. Tianyu only felt that the water pressure around him was getting bigger and bigger, and even formed a series of water blades cutting Tianyu's flesh. Under the rapid cutting of the water blade, tiny bloodstains appeared on Tianyu's face and body. Tianyu smiled slightly and said, "Have you had enough fun? I will start to fight back now." Then Tianyu slashed with a sword, directly breaking the cage of the water tornado that trapped Tianyu, and the silver-white sword energy shot directly at this Xianhe Dragon King. The soul power of this Xianhe Dragon King urged, and a water sword condensed from the essence of the sea fought against Tianyu's silver-white sword energy. The blue water sword and Tianyu's silver-white sword energy were evenly matched. Then Tianyu quickly swung his sword energy at this Xianhe Dragon King in the water. But they were all hit by this Xianhe Dragon King. After all, there is inexhaustible sea power in the sea anytime and anywhere. It can be said that the sea is the home of this Xianhe Dragon King. Without the ocean, the strength of this Xianhe Dragon King is at least reduced by half. Tianyu can leave the sea to fight, but this is likely to be this Xianhe Dragon King's way. The purpose of this Xianhe Dragon King was not to defeat Tianyu, but to repel Tianyu so that Tianyu could leave the sea. Tianyu didn't want to be consumed anymore. His soul power was limited, while the soul power of this Xianhe Dragon King at home was almost unlimited. Tianyu couldn't afford it no matter how strong his soul power was. Now he could only kill this Xianhe Dragon King in seconds by releasing his ultimate move, and he still had to fight the boss. Tianyu raised the 9-killing sword, 9-killing sword style, covering the sea sword. When Tianyu used this move, the waters around Tianyu began to change strangely. Because Tianyu's sword also attacked with the help of the power of the ocean. A large amount of seawater condensed on Tianyu's 9-killing sword, and the color of the sword became bluer and bluer until it condensed into a blue long sword. Seeing Tianyu use this move, the Xianhe Dragon King was shocked and said, "You can actually use the power of the ocean." After all, in the consciousness of this Xianhe Dragon King, Tianyu did not have a martial soul of the water element, and should not have any understanding of the water element. Who would have thought that Tianyu could actually use the power of the ocean? Tianyu slashed out with a sword, and a blue sword energy slashed towards this Xianhe Dragon King with great momentum. Wherever the sword energy passed, it would transform the passing seawater into the energy and power of the Fuhei sword. So when the Fuhei sword came in front of this Xianhe Dragon King, it had condensed into blue sword energy that was thousands of meters long. Facing this sword, the Xianhe Dragon King felt a great threat. He immediately began to activate his soul power, Azure Holy Shield. An azure blue holy shield condensed from the essence of the sea instantly appeared in front of this Xianhe Dragon King. This move of this Xianhe Dragon King is similar to the hailing holy shield of the sea spirit Xiao, both of which use the power of the ocean to generate a soul power holy shield that can resist super strong attacks. But the one condensed by this Xianhe Dragon King at this time is obviously much more powerful than the one condensed by the hailing Xiao. Tianyu's azure blue sword energy directly slashed on the azure blue holy shield. Tianyu's Fuhei sword did not break the azure blue holy shield immediately, but continued on the azure blue holy shield for a while. Under the continuous advancement of the sea covering sword, dense cracks appeared on the azure holy shield. Until finally, the azure holy shield could no longer withstand Tianyu's sea covering sword and shattered. And Tianyu's sea covering sword also slashed directly on the body of this Xianhe Dragon King. The Xianhe Dragon King was also directly slashed into the seabed by this sword. The Xianhe Dragon King's body of several thousand meters was smashed into the lowest layer of the seabed by this sword, stirring up a large amount of seabed mud and sand. Just when Tianyu thought that this Xianhe Dragon King should have been defeated by him, a terrifying energy sprayed towards Tianyu from the sand fog under the seabed. The energy of this attack was very fast, and Tianyu was caught off guard by this energy attack. The whole person was hit by this terrifying attack, and then flew backwards, smashed into the seabed, and smashed a big pit. It turned out that this was the strongest killer move of this Zhanhe Dragon King. When the sea-covering sword was released just now, the Zhanhe Dragon King had already secretly condensed it. The huge body of Zhanhe Dragon King emerged from the sand's mist at the bottom of the sea. Most of the blue dragon scales on his body were cut by Xianyu's sword, and a large amount of blood flowed out, directly dyeing the large area of the sea red. The battle between Xianyu and Zhanhe Dragon King made the 9 beast generals who were watching the battle panic. This is a real battle. If Xianyu's sword was aimed at them, they can guarantee that they have no chance of survival. And their general not only blocked the attack, but also injured Xianyu with a backhand. They really admired their general too much? Seeing that Xianyu had no reaction for so long after being hit into the seabed, when the beasts thought that Xianyu had been defeated, a burst of laughter instantly made their hair stand on end. Ha ha ha. Okay, you not only hurt me, but also made me so embarrassed. You, the Zhanhe Dragon King, are the first. At this time, Xianyu floated out of the cave at the bottom. There were several scars on Xianyu's body, and blood full of demon blood began to overflow. Even though the wounds on Xianyu's body were healing quickly, Xianyu still looked a little embarrassed at this time. Xianyu hadn't bled for a long time. He even forgot what color his blood was. Today, he finally saw it again. It was a normal red color, which showed that his body structure had not changed because of the devil. When Xianyu fought with the 9 beast generals before, their fierce attacks could not cause any harm to Xianyu, but this Zhanhe Dragon King did it, which showed that it was not an ordinary dragon. Just a 500,000-year-old king-level blood dragon is much stronger than the soul beast of the same level. Then, how powerful would the Zhanhe Dragon King, who is the Dragon King level blood of the Dragon Clan, be? Xianyu didn't know, but he was confident that he could tame the Zhanhe Dragon King. Chapter 86 Xianyu vs Zhanhe Dragon King. Boom. Suddenly, a terrifying force of destruction erupted from Xianyu's body. Xianyu's pupils and long hair gradually turned black, and a strange black energy began to emanate from his body. Wherever the black energy passed, the seawater disappeared strangely, as if it was forcibly wiped out of thin air. This terrifying black energy spread wider and wider with Xianyu as the center. Anything touched by this terrifying energy will be destroyed instantly, and there will be no trace left, as if it was destroyed by powerful energy in an instant. And Xianyu's appearance at this time became more and more strange. Only endless power was revealed in his eyes as black as the stars at night, and a head of several meters of black hair was even more chicly floating behind Xianyu. Xianyu's upper body was naked at this time, and the mysterious black lines also spread from his abdomen to his handsome face, which was both mysterious and majestic. At this time, Xianyu only gave a look, and the soul beasts below felt that their entire souls were about to be destroyed. The Zhanhe Dragon King, who found that things were not going well, used a killing move again, but Xianyu at this time was not the same as before he transformed. Facing the killing move that was enough to hurt him just now, Xianyu only gently raised a finger. Although the killing move of this Zhanhe Dragon King hit Xianyu floating in the air, the killing move of this Zhanhe Dragon King was instantly wiped out as soon as it touched Xianyu's casually raised finger, as if the killing move of this Zhanhe Dragon King was like a bubble, which was broken by a slight poke in Xianyu's hand. How is it possible? Because Xianyu's strength has exceeded the cognition of this Zhanhe Dragon King. Several beast generals who were watching the battle on the sidelines were also trembling with fear at the momentum exuded by Xianyu at this time. At this time, Xianyu was like a destructive demon in their eyes. It seemed that just raising a finger could destroy them into ashes. Unable to believe it, the Zhanhe Dragon King gathered his ultimate killing moves again and shot directly at Xianyu. This was the last killing move he could release, as he had already overdrawn all his soul power. After releasing this attack, the Zhanhe Dragon King ran out of soul power and fell to the bottom of the sea. Xianyu said indifferently, "It's useless. Stop struggling meaninglessly." Then he wiped out the ultimate killing move that was shot again with a light stroke of his finger. The other 9 beasts caught this Zhanhe Dragon King who fell. The 10 beasts who were usually the overlords of a sea area were shivering and curled up together at this time, looking at Xianyu in fear. The pressure that Xianyu gave people came from the depths of his heart and soul. Even their powerful master, the Zhanhe Dragon King, had never given them such a feeling. Xianyu raised one hand indifferently and said expressionlessly, "Aren't you coming out yet?" Then a terrifying force of destruction began to gather in Xianyu's right palm. This, is he trying to kill us? Hey dang, Demon Star said in fear. Can't you see it? His target has always been our Lord. If the Lord doesn't come out, he will really kill us. Just when Xianyu was about to lose his patience, a majestic voice sounded, saying, "Are you looking for me?" Then a super huge figure instantly appeared not far from Xianyu. When Xianyu saw clearly, the one who made the sound was a 10,000-meter long blue dragon, which was several times larger than this Hanhei Dragon King. If you have to use a word to describe the huge size of the Qinghai Dragon King, it can only be described as covering the sky and the sun. System, check the Soul Beast information. Soul Beast, Qinghai Dragon King, year 987,654. The top existence of the Dragon Soul Beast, with the blood power of the Divine Beast in his blood, is the descendant of the Dragon clan in the mortal world. Strength, Demigod Xianyu thought to himself, as I expected, this Qinghai Dragon King is at least a 900,000-year-old soul beast. Facing such a demigod-level opponent, Xianyu was not panicked at all, and even a little eager to try. Xianyu said, "Can you become smaller? It's tiring for me to talk to you with my head raised like this." The Qinghai Dragon King thought about it, and really became smaller, and turned into human form. When Xianyu saw the Qinghai Dragon King's human form, he was also a little confused. Because the Qinghai Dragon King turned into a beautiful girl with blue hair. Xianyu thought to himself, such a beautiful girl, the system actually wants me to take her as a pet. Does the system have any strange hobbies? Like dragon girls? You haven't answered my question yet. The Qinghai Dragon King said coldly. Oh, nothing, I just want you to be my pet. After hearing what Xianyu said, Qinghai Dragon Emperor was not as angry as Xianyu imagined, but just said lightly, "It depends on whether you have the strength." Qinghai Dragon Emperor has been in this secret realm for nearly 1,000,000 years, and has been invincible for nearly 1,000,000 years. Today, she finally met an opponent like Xianyu who could interest her. Then you have to be careful, don't let me make you cry. Xianyu teased. Because, my fist hurts a lot. As soon as Xianyu finished speaking, he flashed in front of Qinghai Dragon Emperor, and a punch that was enough to kill a super Douluo was thrown directly at Qinghai Dragon Emperor. Just when Xianyu's punch was about to hit Qinghai Dragon Emperor, a blue barrier instantly appeared in front of Qinghai Dragon Emperor, directly blocking Xianyu's punch with terrifying destructive power. But Xianyu's terrifying random punch still generated a large amount of terrifying destructive power, which instantly evaporated the water in the sea area with a radius of more than 10 kilometers centered on Xianyu and Qinghai Dragon Emperor. What was even more strange was that Xianyu's terrifying punch only caused a few ripples on the blue barrier. Suddenly, a stream of blue water hit Xianyu's abdomen directly, and Xianyu retreated all the way, retreating several kilometers before stopping. Xianyu wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and thought to himself, "Sure enough, it's very strong. Much stronger than this Hanhei Dragon King. It's really interesting. I have to be more serious." I saw the shadow of a handsome black dragon of destruction fatally appearing behind Xianyu. Then a red soul ring rose from Xianyu's feet. Yes, it was a red soul ring. This was the holy power of the super god level martial soul. It was born with a soul ring, and 100,000 years was just the starting point. With a later practice, the soul ring can be upgraded to 1,000,000 years or even tens of millions of years. A black light flashed from Xianyu's eyes. Destroy Shura Divine Light. A terrifying black light of destruction gathered in Xianyu's hands in an instant. Feeling that this blow was not simple, the Qinghai Dragon King also looked serious. The 10 beast generals who were watching the battle had already run away. It was so funny. If they were watching a battle of this level, if Xianyu or Qinghai Dragon King missed their target, they would probably be wiped out. Book Friends Group. 100,861,943. Join the group to urge for more. Please join the group. Chapter 87. Ashura Godlight filled with terrifying destructive power went straight to the Qinghai Dragon King. Wherever the destructive godlight passed, all the objects on the road were destroyed without leaving any ashes, leaving only a long black mark. Facing this world-destroying blow, the Qinghai Dragon King also stretched out his jade hand slowly, and a cyan energy gathered in his hand, and then instantly shot it out, colliding with the flying destructive Shura Godlight. The moment the two black and blue lights collided, The area where Xianyu and the Qinghai Dragon King fought almost evaporated hundreds of kilometers of seawater, and at this time, both of them were in a state of floating in the air. A terrifying destructive force was floating around Xianyu. A cyan energy was floating around the Qinghai Dragon King. The actual power of that cyan energy was much smaller than Xianyu's destructive power, but the Qinghai Dragon King won because of her high cultivation and more proficiency in the use of cyan energy. The only thing that Xianyu lacks now is the disadvantage of his realm. Now Xianyu is only at the Soul Sect realm, but he has the strength of a demigod. This is the benefit of having many super god level martial souls. It is very easy to fight against opponents of the same level or above. But there is also a disadvantage of having so many martial souls, that is, the upgrade is too slow, because there are many martial souls, which means that Xianyu needs more energy to upgrade his soul power, especially the martial souls with such high bloodline and quality. It can be said that an ordinary person needs 100 experience points to upgrade his soul power, while Xianyu needs 10 billion experience points to upgrade his soul power. Even though Xianyu now has the blood of the demon god and the cultivation bonus of the martial soul is tens of thousands of times that of others, it is still a bit behind the demand. But the advantage of this is that when Xianyu reaches the titled Douluo realm, he will have no opponent below the god level. At that time, if he meets an opponent like the Qinghai Dragon King again, he can solve it by just raising his hand. Fortunately, Xianyu came 20,000 years earlier. If she had come later, the Qinghai Dragon King might have broken through 1 million years and reached the level of a divine beast. At that time, it would be difficult for Xianyu to subdue him. But that was only if. Xianyu's whole body was covered with a strange black light, and a terrifying force of destruction instantly condensed on his fists. Destruction Demon Fist. Xianyu instantly appeared in front of the Qinghai Dragon King with a special force. The Qinghai Dragon King was caught off guard by Xianyu's special force. Obviously, she didn't expect that Xianyu still had this special force. Even though the Qinghai Dragon King had reacted and defended instantly. But he was still blasted away tens of thousands of meters by Xianyu's blow. Xianyu continued to pursue the victory, and a spatial force appeared directly in front of the Qinghai Dragon King again. But at this time, the Qinghai Dragon King had reacted, and a green energy wrapped around her jade hand, and then he also punched out. The punches of both sides instantly caused fluctuations in the secret realm space. The collision of their terrifying pure power almost destroyed the space in the secret realm. Xianyu was also pushed back a long distance by the attack of Qinghai Dragon Emperor. He was a little shocked that the pure power of Qinghai Dragon Emperor was so terrifying. Dragon soul beasts are born with divine power, not to mention Qinghai Dragon Emperor who has the blood of divine beasts. Even if she has not practiced strength, her natural pure power is very terrifying. Xianyu continued to use the power of destruction and launched a fierce attack on Qinghai Dragon Emperor. The two of them punched each other in the air. Every punch of Xianyu was full of violent power, and the power of every punch was close to the full force of the ultimate Douluo, which shook the space in the secret realm and gradually began to collapse. Compared with Xianyu's, every punch of Qinghai Dragon Emperor was more stable. Compared with Xianyu's random bombardment, Qinghai Dragon Emperor seemed to pay more attention to skills, so he could also fight back and forth with a violent Xianyu. Xianyu floated in the air. He had exchanged thousands of punches with the Qinghai Dragon Emperor, but still could not cause any damage to the Qinghai Dragon Emperor. Xianyu thought to himself, is this what it feels like to meet an opponent? At this time, Xianyu was very excited and eager to fight. After all, it was rare to find an opponent who was not killed by him in one blow, so he planned to have fun and not end the battle too quickly. Tianyu stretched out his hands, and the terrifying power of destruction appeared madly in his fists. Because Tianyu was going to enlarge again. A red soul ring floated from his feet, and Tianyu said lightly, "The ultimate fist of destruction." A fist that condensed super terror was swung directly and smashed directly at the Qinghai Dragon Emperor, shaking the space of the secret realm and collapsing crazily. It can be imagined how terrifying Tianyu's punch was. Facing Tianyu's punch, the Qinghai Dragon Emperor also took it seriously. A stronger green than any previous blow began to gather in her jade hand, and even faintly saw the green energy condensed into a green dragon claw. It seems that the Qinghai Dragon Emperor intends to fight Tianyu with pure power. Xianyu's terrifying punch directly collided with the Qinghai Dragon Emperor's Dragon Claw Phantom. The terrifying pure power collision directly destroyed the space where Xianyu and Qinghai Dragon Emperor were, revealing the chaotic space formed after the space collapsed. Xianyu and Qinghai quickly left the place where the space collapsed. After all, it would be troublesome if they were sucked in. Xianyu was not injured after the ultimate bombardment with the Qinghai Dragon Emperor. But the Qinghai Dragon Emperor looked a little embarrassed. Obviously he lost in the bombardment just now. The dragon bloodline of the Qinghai Dragon Emperor is indeed the ceiling in the mortal world, especially that pure power. It is estimated that no soul beast has a stronger power than the Qinghai Dragon Emperor. But unfortunately, he met Xianyu. Xianyu had 5 super god level dragon spirits, and 1 super god level spirit. Any of these spirits was much stronger than the dragon bloodline of Qinghai Dragon Emperor, not to mention the power. It was a complete crushing in all aspects. If the two sides were at the same level, the Qinghai Dragon Emperor would probably be defeated by Xianyu directly in the previous wave of bombardment. "Does it hurt, little dragon?" Xianyu said teasingly. Qinghai Dragon Emperor didn't say anything, but looked at Xianyu with fierce eyes. It was impossible not to hurt. Although she was a dragon, she had never practiced strength. After all, what kind of strength could a little female dragon practice? She now regretted that she had a sudden impulse to fight with Xianyu. Who would have thought that Xianyu was so tough? Who would have thought that the hidden power in Xianyu's small human body was so terrifying? You must know that a soul master of the same level has no chance of winning in a pure power comparison with a soul beast of the same level. For example, if a titled Douluo soul master fights a 100,000-year-old soul beast with only strength and without using soul power, it can be guaranteed that, except for those titled Douluos who practice physical training, ordinary titled Douluos will only be torn to pieces with one hand and have no chance of winning. However, Xianyu is the only monster among humans. Chapter 88 Xianyu vs Qinghai Dragon King, 3. I've had enough fun. I have to end the battle quickly. Xianyu thought. I'm afraid of being scolded by readers. Xianyu stretched out his hand, and a black sword gradually condensed in his hand. The black sword exuded a terrifying destructive force, as if everything in the world could be destroyed with just a light sword. This sword is the innate magical power of the Destruction Dragon, the Sword of Destruction. It has the power to destroy the world. Xianyu held the Sword of Destruction, and then casually swung a sword at the Qinghai Dragon Emperor not far away to test its power. A terrifying black sword light shot directly at the Qinghai Dragon Emperor. Looking at the sword light that Xianyu was slashing at, the Qinghai Dragon Emperor slightly stretched out her jade hand, and a green longsword also condensed in her hand. The Qinghai Dragon Emperor also swung a sword, and a green sword light collided with a black sword light that Xianyu slashed. Although it burst out with terrifying power, neither of them could hurt the other. Xianyu held the Sword of Destruction in his hand and slashed directly at the Qinghai Dragon Emperor. The Qinghai Dragon Emperor also held a green longsword and competed with Xianyu in sword intent. After a few moves of sword fighting, Xianyu was a little surprised and said, "It's a pretty good sword intent, Xiao. You, a soul beast, don't practice strength well, but practice sword intent instead. What do you care about me?" The Qinghai Dragon Emperor directly stabbed Xianyu with a sword. It was obviously because he lost to Xianyu in the strength competition just now, and he was a little unconvinced and wanted to regain some face in sword skills. But it is not so easy to beat Xianyu in sword skills. After all, since Xianyu awakened the 9 killing swords, Xianyu's sword skills have already soared to the sky and reached a special realm. Xianyu also fought with the Qinghai Dragon Emperor in the air. Sword lights and sword shadows flew everywhere. Just a few random moves to test, the space in the secret realm was cut into cracks, which was extremely terrifying. If there were passers-by passing by, they would definitely see 2 figures, one black and one blue, moving quickly in the air. The effect of Xianyu's sword skills is mainly domineering and powerful. The effect of Qinghai Dragon Emperor's sword skills is skill and gentleness. Destruction slash. Xianyu turned his sword into a knife and repelled Qinghai Dragon Emperor with one sword. Xianyu's sword skills are not only domineering and powerful, but also very skillful. This made Qinghai Dragon Emperor very helpless. He could only use skills. I saw Qinghai Dragon Emperor holding the blue longsword upright in front of his chest and began to activate his soul power. A blue super large sword formation instantly appeared above Xianyu. Xianyu did not intend to dodge this sword formation, because he wanted to see what the power of the big move released by Qinghai Dragon Emperor, who had never released a big move, was like. A blue light flashed in Qinghai Dragon Emperor's eyes. The blue sword formation above Xianyu's head was also arranged. In an instant, hundreds of blue energy swords descended from the blue sword formation. Xianyu said arrogantly, "Is that all?" Xianyu held the sword of destruction in his hand and gently waved it to block dozens of blue energy swords that shot down. Then, he swung a few more swords, and easily blocked all the remaining blue energy swords. Xianyu, who blocked all the blue energy swords, put his hands on his hips and said, "Xiao Long, is this your ultimate move? This won't work." A smile appeared on the corner of Qinghai Dragon King's mouth, and he said, "It's not that simple." The blue sword formation above Xianyu's head did not disappear, but continued to drop thousands of blue energy swords. Although the number has increased by more than 10 times, Xianyu still has no problem dealing with it. Xianyu quickly swung the sword of destruction in his hand. Then thousands of blue sword intents shot at Xianyu like a rain of arrows. After Xianyu blocked all the sword intents this time, although he was still very relaxed, he was not as dismissive as the first time. Because he found that the second wave of sword intents in this blue sword formation not only had more sword intents than the first wave, but also had much greater power than the first wave. Xianyu felt that there would be a third wave. Xianyu guessed correctly, there really was a third wave. This third wave of sword intents had tens of thousands of blue energy sword intents. Xianyu thought, it's not that simple. Tens of thousands of blue sword intents shot towards Xianyu in an instant. Xianyu also became very serious, because the power of this third wave of sword intent was stronger than the previous wave. Xianyu waved the sword of destruction in his hand frantically to resist a blue energy sword coming down from above. If you were watching from outside at this time, Xianyu's hand speed was so fast that you could only see the afterimage. He really achieved an explosive hand speed. Even though Xianyu was trying his best to resist the sword intent, there were still many sword intents that hit Xianyu through the attack intervals. After resisting this third wave of sword intent, Xianyu's body also had several sword marks made by the blue sword intent, but Xianyu's self-healing ability was very strong, and he recovered in less than a while. Xianyu held the sword of destruction in his hand and pointed at the Qinghai Dragon King, who was controlling the blue sword formation not far away, and said, "That's it? Xiao Long, continue. As you wish." Qinghai Dragon King smiled slightly. The Qinghai Dragon Emperor activated the blue sword formation. This fourth wave of sword formation had hundreds of thousands of blue sword intents. Xianyu regretted seeing so many sword intents. He regretted pretending to be cool and not dodging. He could have avoided the sword formation of the Qinghai Dragon Emperor just now. It was also thanks to the Qinghai Dragon Emperor who was in full control of the release of this blue sword formation. Otherwise, Xianyu would be trapped in the sword formation, and the Qinghai Dragon Emperor would release other big moves on the side. Xianyu would be very uncomfortable, but Xianyu was also very uncomfortable now. Facing the hundreds of thousands of blue energy sword intents shooting down at him, Xianyu was not afraid at all and continued to wave the sword of destruction in his hand to resist. Destruction normal slash. Destruction phantom slash. Destruction sword slash. In this wave, Xianyu had to use skills to resist, because this wave was not only more in number than the previous wave, but also much more powerful than the previous wave. But even though Xianyu had used many sword skills of the sword of destruction, he still couldn't avoid being hit by many energy swords. After all, there were too many of them. The sword marks on Xianyu's body were getting more and more, and he couldn't recover. When Xianyu had blocked these hundreds of thousands of sword intentions, his body was already full of sword wounds caused by the blue energy sword. Although the wounds were recovering quickly, it was still very painful for Xianyu. Xianyu thought to himself, "Damn it, this little dragon hit me hard and made me so embarrassed. After I tame you, I will definitely teach you a lesson." Xianyu said arrogantly, "Go on, little dragon, that's it, is there nothing else?" The Qinghai Dragon Emperor was also not indulging Xianyu, and said, "Of course there is, but it's the last wave. It depends on whether you can handle it." Hearing the Qinghai Dragon Emperor say that there is a fifth wave, Xianyu thought to himself, "Damn it, there really is a fifth wave, But fortunately it's the last wave. After I get through this wave, I will definitely teach this little dragon a lesson. Book Friends Group. 100,861,943 Join the group to urge for more updates. Please join the group. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 89 Kinger. It's not that Tianyu didn't break the sword formation and leave. It's mainly because Tianyu chose to pretend to be awesome. He had to stand there and resist the ultimate move of the Qinghai Dragon King. He had to pretend to be awesome even if he cried. The fifth wave of sword rain had millions of blue energy swords, and the power was even greater than the fourth wave. Tianyu wiped the cold sweat from his forehead and prepared to resist the millions of sword rains. The blue light flashed in the blue eyes of the Qinghai Dragon King. The millions of terrifying blue swords shot down Tianyu. It was impossible for Tianyu to block all the swords, so he could only use defensive soul skills. A red soul ring quickly rose from Tianyu's feet. Tianyu roared, "Destroy the war god armor." A handsome armor condensed by the power of destruction instantly covered Tianyu's naked upper body. Then Tianyu clenched the sword of destruction in his hand and began to resist the falling sword rain. Millions of blue swords fell instantly. Tianyu quickly waved the sword of destruction in his hand to resist the science sword rain that was falling at a very fast speed. Even though the sword in Tianyu's hand had been swung at the speed of light, he still couldn't avoid being hit by those science sword intentions. At the beginning, it was okay. Only a little science sword intention slashed Tianyu's body. Tianyu, who had the armor of the god of destruction, could resist it. But as the speed of the science sword rain fell faster, Tianyu could no longer bear it. You must know that each Scion energy is equal to a blow from the ultimate Douluo, which means that Tianyu is resisting the attacks of millions of ultimate Doulos at this time. A terrifying science sword intention instantly pierced Tianyu's body, and the armor of the god of destruction on Tianyu's body was shattered bit by bit by the science sword intention. Until the god of destruction Kai was completely shattered, the science sword intentions really hit him. Tianyu's indestructible body was also scratched with sword marks, and the red blood of the devil flowed out of the wound, causing Tianyu to frown in pain. No, if this goes on, someone will die. Tianyu frowned. He could have summoned a god-level demon general to forcibly subdue the Qinghai Dragon King. But he didn't want to. He wanted to subdue the Qinghai Dragon King with his own strength. Tianyu stretched out his hand, and a sacred blazing long sword quickly appeared in his hand. Along with the holy sword, there appeared the 12 red sacred angel wings behind Tianyu. That's right, Tianyu released the second super god level martial soul, the 12-winged ultimate seraph. At this time, Tianyu was already in the strongest state. Tianyu waved the 12 seraph wings behind him, and a blazing flame burned, shattering all the incoming blue sword intent. Then Tianyu held two super god level swords in both hands and chopped off the blue sword intent that continued to fall one by one. With the appearance of the 12-winged seraph martial spirit, Tianyu's strength also soared rapidly. With the blessing of two super god level swords, he was able to resist the remaining blue sword intent with ease. Until Tianyu finally chopped off the last blue sword intent, the blue sword formation that trapped Tianyu finally disappeared. Tianyu held the two swords tightly with both hands, and directly came to the top of Qinghai Dragon Emperor with a special force, and chopped directly with all his strength. Looking at the two swords slashing towards her, Qinghai Dragon Emperor did not move, but just stood there quietly. When Tianyu's two swords were about to cut her, Qinghai Dragon Emperor also said that word, saying, "I give up." Tianyu's two swords also stopped above Qinghai Dragon Emperor's head. Tianyu also smiled and said, "It would be great if it was like this earlier." Then Tianyu also lifted the combat state, because Tianyu had sent a prompt that the task was completed, and the system would not lie to him. It seems that Qinghai Dragon Emperor has really surrendered to his strength. Tianyu touched the head of Qinghai Dragon Emperor and said, "Then you will be mine from now on." Tianyu thought about it and seemed to feel that the name of pet was not very nice. Then he said, "You will be my woman from now on." Isn't Qinghai Dragon Emperor a little female dragon? And she can also transform into human, isn't she a woman? and she also belongs to Xianyu now. After explaining, Qinghai Dragon Emperor is indeed his woman. Is there anything wrong with this? There is nothing wrong with this. Xianyu said to Qinghai Dragon Emperor, do you have a name? After all, you can't always call her Qinghai Dragon Emperor. Qinghai Dragon Emperor shook her head gently and said, no. She really didn't have a human name, because she had been in the secret realm since she was born, and she only knew that everyone called her Qinghai Dragon Emperor. Xianyu thought for a while and said, I'll call you Kinger from now on. Yes. Kinger nodded obediently, obviously liking this name very much. Master. Kinger pulled the corner of Xianyu's clothes and said, Kinger, what's the matter? Master, can you take Kinger away from this place? Do you mean this secret realm? Yes. After so many years of learning from humans, Kinger also knew that the space she was in was called the secret realm. Kinger, have you never left the secret realm? Yes, I have never left, because there is always an invisible force that prevents the Holy Spirit in our secret realm from leaving the secret realm. Xianyu touched Kinger's head and said, don't worry, Kinger, I promise you that I can take you out. As long as I want to take you out, no one can stop me. After I get out, I will take you to see our human world. Kinger nodded and said, thank you, Master. She had been looking forward to the world outside the secret realm for a long time. Looking at Kinger's well-behaved appearance, Xianyu also rubbed Kinger's head unscrupulously. After all, Kinger was much more obedient than the little silver dragon in Shrek Academy. Seeing that there was no sound of fighting here, the 10 beast generals under Kinger also rushed back. They saw this scene as soon as they arrived. Heidang Demon Star said, he won't really subdue our master, will he? Zhanhe Dragon King said, we still need to see. Mohe Beast said, will he be our new master in the future? 10 soul beasts of tens of thousands of years old all knelt in front of Xianyu, and the momentum scared Xianyu. Xianyu said speechlessly, what are you doing? Master, you will be our new master in the future. Kinger stood aside without saying anything. She also took these little brothers on a whim. Xianyu waved his hands impatiently and said, go back to where you came from, you are free. Master, why is this? Zhanhe Dragon King said puzzledly. After all, who doesn't want little brothers given for free? Xianyu said, you are all too weak, not worthy to be my younger brother. After hearing what Xianyu said, the 10 beast generals were very unconvinced. After all, they were 100,000-year-old soul beasts, and they were at the tidal Douluo realm of humans. Xianyu actually said that they were unworthy. Although they were very unconvinced, they did not dare to say anything. Xianyu naturally saw the unconvinced look on their faces. Xianyu said, let me show you the strength of my younger brother. Book Friends Group. 100,861,943 Join the group to urge for more. Please join the group. Chapter 90. You don't have the ability, but you still want to be my younger brother? Xianyu snapped his fingers lightly. With a bang, 10 tall human-shaped figures instantly appeared above the 10 beasts. Each of them was wearing handsome armor, tall, and with sharp eyes. They exuded a terrifying aura all the time. Although the 10 demons were only 2 meters tall, the pressure they exuded was enough to crush 10 soul beasts that were several thousand meters tall. The 10 soul beasts were suffocated by the terrifying pressure of the 10 demons. They only felt that a terrifying demon god was condensed behind each demon. For the 10 soul beasts, this feeling was too uncomfortable, because the momentum exuded by the 10 demons made them fearful all the time. So strong. Zhanhe Dragon King was pressed to the ground by the pressure of the demons. The other beasts felt the same way. Kinger, who was beside Xianyu, looked at the terrifying strength exuded by the demons and was also thinking. She can guarantee that the demon generals summoned by Xianyu, let alone her younger brothers, even she herself may not be able to defeat them. Because Xianyu released 10 demon generals of the ultimate Douluo level. Xianyu looked at the terrified beasts below and said lightly, do you still want to be my younger brother? The beasts exchanged glances and seemed to have made a decision. They said in unison, brother, we want to be your younger brothers. Although they had not decided to be Xianyu's younger brothers before, after seeing the strength of the demon generals, they decided to be Xianyu's younger brothers. Because they can feel that there is absolutely no harm in following Xianyu, and maybe they can become stronger. Seeing the persistence, Xianyu was also a little surprised. Xianyu said, then I will give you a chance. If you 10 beasts fight one of my 10 younger brothers and can hold out for 1 minute, I will let you be my younger brother." A demon general with a gun also stood out from the team immediately. The 10 beasts exchanged glances and decided to give it a try. If they win, the bicycle will turn into a motorcycle. If they lose, they will just get beaten up. For the sake of their former boss Kinger, Xianyu will not kill them. The 10 beast generals confronted Xianyu's gun-wielding Douluo. Several beast generals were swallowing their saliva frantically, thinking in their hearts, just try to hold on for 1 minute. Although the 10 beasts were panicked and nervous, after all, they were an opponent stronger than their boss Qinghai Dragon King, but they still had to bite the bullet because they were going to be beating Xianyu's younger brothers. Xianyu waved his hand and said, "Okay, you guys start." Then he sat aside with Kinger to watch the show. At the beginning of the battle, the demon sea beast rushed up first. 200-meter-long fists smashed directly at the demon general, and he roared, "Fuck you." Facing the full-strength attack of the demon sea beast, the demon general just looked at it with disdain, and then stabbed the magic spear in his hand directly. A terrifying shadow of the magic spear directly pierced through the rushing sea monster. The huge figure of the sea demon beast was directly knocked away tens of thousands of meters. Killed in one blow, the demon general is so strong. The demon general defeated the sea demon beast in less than 1 second. Then the demon general continued to wave the magic gun in his hand to attack the remaining beast generals. Several beasts also knew that it was impossible to last more than a minute against the demon general, so they planned to use the defensive formation to hold out for this minute. The second one to resist in front was the saber-toothed demon tiger shark. Facing the demon general attacking with a gun, the saber-toothed demon tiger shark was not afraid at all and directly opened the big move to resist. The attack and defense of the saber-toothed demon tiger shark are also considered to be a relatively powerful group among the 100,000-year soul beasts, but in front of the 99th level ultimate demon general, it is only a matter of 5 seconds. The demon general stabbed out a few phantoms and defeated the saber-toothed demon tiger shark. The 400,000-year-old saber-toothed demon tiger shark only lasted for 5 seconds under the hands of the demon general of the ultimate Douluo. The demon will continue to kill with a gun. He wants to defeat these weaklings within 60 seconds. He wants to let these weaklings know that weaklings are not worthy of being his master's subordinates. The third one is the troll sea soul whale, which only lasted 4 seconds. The fourth one is the 9-clawed demon fish, which only lasted 3 seconds. The fifth one is the 9-headed sea python, which only lasted 3 seconds. The sixth one is the demon horn whale, which only lasted 3 seconds. The seventh one is the demon sea giant crocodile, which lasted 5 seconds. The eighth one is the begonia demon star, which lasted 2 seconds. The ninth one is the super defensive sea spirit black tortoise, but it only lasted 10 seconds before the demon general shot and shattered its tortoise shell. The 9 beast generals together only lasted less than 40 seconds. That is to say, the remaining 20 seconds will be fully resisted by Xianhai Dragon King alone. The demon general teleported quickly in front of Xianhai Dragon King and stabbed Xianhai Dragon King with a gun. Just when the magic spear was about to pierce the Xianhai Dragon King, a blue holy shield of the Xianhai Dragon King instantly appeared in front of him, blocking the attack of the magic general. The demon general was a little surprised. He originally thought that this Xianhai Dragon King would be as vulnerable as the other beast generals, but he didn't expect that he actually had some skills. But in the eyes of the demon general, it was just a little bit. Then the demon general swung the magic spear again quickly, instantly breaking the blue holy shield of the Xianhai Dragon King. Then he shot the huge body of the Xianhai Dragon King. The huge body of the Xianhai Dragon King was directly shot down to the bottom of the sea by the huge energy of the demon general. After shooting down the Xianhai Dragon King, the demon general confidently put away his gun because he thought that the Xianhai Dragon King had been defeated by him. Only Xianyu knew that the demon general was careless, because he was also too careless like the demon general at that time, and then suffered a loss. The result was true. I saw that at the bottom of the sea where the Xianhai Dragon King was shot down, a dazzling blue light instantly shot out. The demon general, who was already in a relaxed state, did not react and was instantly hit by the blue light. The whole body was hit hard and flew into the air. Xianhai Dragon King emerged from the bottom of the sea and said fiercely, "His brother, go to hell." Finally, he started the continuous shooting mode. Another blue light shot out from his mouth. The demon general who had not yet reacted was hit again, and the whole figure was blasted farther away. But Xianhe Dragon King did not give the demon general a chance to breathe, and another azure light shot out, hitting the demon general again fiercely. The demon general was shot 5 times by Xianhe Dragon King in the air, and it stopped only when Xianhe Dragon King was completely out of energy. The demon general who was not shot by the cannon finally had a chance to fight back. At this time, the demon general was furious, holding the magic gun tightly with both hands, and fiercely swung a terrifying shot. A huge and terrifying giant gun stabbed directly and quickly at Xianhe Dragon King. It seemed that the demon general was really angry. If this shot was fired, Xianhe Dragon King would probably be crippled if not dead. Looking at the terrifying magic gun coming at him, Xianhe Dragon King also closed his eyes. Just when the demon general's terrifying attack was about to hit the Xianhe Dragon King, Tianyu spoke up and said, "It's time." The demon general's terrifying attack also stopped on the top of the Xianhe Dragon King's head. Although the demon general was very unhappy, after all, he was just so embarrassed by this Xianhe Dragon King. Now he just wanted to hit this Xianhe Dragon King lightly and get back the loss he just suffered. Who would have thought that Tianyu would speak up, and he would absolutely obey Tianyu's words? He could only take back the magic gun in frustration, and then return to Tianyu's magic army. Book Friends Group 100,861,943. Join the group to urge for more. Please join the group. Chapter 91. Purple Cloud Flame. The calm sea surface was suddenly broken. Tianyu was suspended in the sky above the secret realm. He had already subdued all 10 beasts into the space spirit world. Tianyu didn't want to accept these 10 beasts at first, but seeing the good attitude of these 10 beasts and Zhao Qing's face, Tianyu reluctantly accepted them. Since they are already Tianyu's younger brothers, Tianyu will naturally not treat them unfairly. Tianyu will definitely help them improve their strength. In the future, at least their strength can be raised to the level of divine beasts. Otherwise, if their strength is too weak, it will be difficult for him to take them out to show off. System, the task is completed. Where is my task reward? Ling. The subjugation task has been completed. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the system gift package. Does the host choose to open it? Open it, anyway, I'm free. Ling. The system gift package has been opened. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a chance to obtain a random super god level martial spirit. Awesome, this trip to the secret realm is worth it. Tianyu knows how terrifying the super god level martial spirit is. If Tianyu didn't have 2 super powerful super god level martial souls this time, he might not be able to beat Kinger at all. Take the Destruction Dragon God Martial Soul as an example. Before Tianyu activated a Destruction Dragon God Martial Soul, it was a bit difficult to deal with this Xianhe Dragon King, but what about Tianyu after activating the Destruction Dragon God Martial Soul? He directly hung up this Xianhe Dragon King and beat him. After activating the Destruction Dragon God Martial Soul, Tianyu was already in a state where he could easily beat this Xianhe Dragon King, and he could evenly fight with a semi-god Kinger. Although the strength is square, Tianyu's combat experience is still a little worse than Kinger, who has lived for hundreds of thousands of years. Tianyu finally relied on activating the second super god level martial soul to defeat Kinger. If Tianyu didn't have a second super god level martial soul at that time, he might have been defeated by Kinger's sword formation. In summary, the effect of a super god level martial soul is stronger than that of several super god level martial souls combined, and it is also more handsome, which can make Tianyu have a better effect of pretending to be B. Although Tianyu spent a lot of time in this sea area, the benefits he finally gained were much more than what he paid. Not only did he get a random super god level martial soul, but he also subdued a lovely girl Kinger. In one word, it is not a loss. The eastern part of the secret realm, the Warcraft Valley. This is a huge mountain range in the eastern part of the secret realm. At a glance, it is continuous. It is named because there are so many soul beasts living in the valley. A team of soul masters consisting of more than a dozen people is walking carefully in the valley at this time. Most of them are men, and they are all wearing the same sect costumes. Obviously, they are all disciples of the same sect. A young man who seemed to be a senior brother said to a beautiful woman beside him, "Junior Sister Yoon, we have learned that the purple cloud flame we are looking for will appear in this monster valley." The beautiful woman named Junior Sister Yoon just nodded lightly to show that she knew. The young man continued, "The purple cloud flame is usually guarded by a high-level soul beast, so even if we find the purple cloud flame, We have to defeat its guardian soul beast to truly get the purple cloud flame. So everyone should be careful when you act later." His last sentence was said to the other disciples present. Received. Several other junior brothers also responded to indicate that they received it. In the Monster Valley. A dozen figures rustled and rustled quickly in the valley. Although most of their strength was at the Soul King level, they were all very cautious at this time. Because the Monster Mountain range was full of dangers, and there were even 100,000-year-old soul beasts in the depths of the mountain range. If such an existence was disturbed, it would be estimated that they would not be able to escape at that time. Even though the soul beasts in the periphery were not so advanced, they were still powerful soul beasts, so they tried their best not to disturb the soul beasts, and they also did not provoke the low-level ones, because they were afraid of attracting high-level soul beasts. "Why haven't you found it yet?" said the young man who was a senior brother. His mentality had gradually become irritable. It was not his fault that he had a bad temper, because they had been searching in this mountain range for nearly 5 days, and they had not found any trace of the purple cloud flame they were looking for. On the contrary, because the disciples in their sect frequently searched for the purple shadow flame in the mountains in the past few days, they accidentally provoked some high-level soul beasts. Although no disciples were injured or killed, they all suffered a lot of injuries, and the mental and physical torture made them a little bit overwhelmed. Alice, the young senior brother, sighed tiredly. At the beginning, he clearly received news from the sect that the purple cloud flame they were looking for would appear in the Magic Beast Mountain range, but after searching for almost a week, he didn't find anything. A sect disciple next to the senior brother said, "Senior brother, do you think the sect's information is wrong? Otherwise, how could we not find anything after searching for so many days? At least there should be some trace." "Impossible, the sect will never give us wrong information. It must be our bad luck. Let's search for a while. If we still can't find it, we will leave this damn place." Just as the senior brother finished speaking, the soul transmitter on his body shone with light. "It's my junior brothers. Could it be that they have news about Xiao Wu? The senior brother thought so, and then connected the soul transmitter. As soon as the soul transmitter was connected, an excited voice came from it, saying, "Senior brother, we found it. We finally found Xiao Wu. That's great. Wait, junior brother, is Xiao Wu guarded by a soul beast?" "Yes, and it seems to be a very powerful soul beast." "Senior brother, come and have a look." "Well, I'll go there now." After saying that, he started flying directly to the location of his junior brothers. Finding the purple cloud flame was certainly good news, but what he was worried about now was what level of soul beast was guarding the purple cloud flame. He was afraid that it would be a very powerful high-level soul beast. Even if they found the purple cloud flame, they couldn't take it away. What was the difference between that and not finding it? As a level 65 Soul Emperor, he quickly came to the location of his junior brothers. He landed carefully in front of his junior brothers and said, "Where's the purple cloud flame?" "Brother, the purple cloud flame is in the cave in front." A junior brother pointed as he spoke. The young senior brother looked forward and saw that there was indeed a cave in front of him, and it was emitting a fiery purple light. This spiritual power fluctuation must be the purple cloud flame. But a big problem lay before them, because in front of the door of the cave was lying a huge lion with purple flames all over its body. Its huge body was emitting terrifying soul power all the time. Obviously, this was the guardian beast of the purple cloud flame. Book Friends Group 100,861,943. Join the group to urge for more. Please join the group. Chapter 92 Purple Flame Lion King. After seeing the appearance of the purple cloud flame guardian beast, the senior brother youngster stuttered, It's the purple flame Lion King." The beautiful woman named Sister Yoon said beside him. "Purple flame Lion King?" The senior brother youngster asked doubtfully, and it was obvious that he did not recognize this soul beast. The girl named Junior Sister Yoon also explained to him, "The purple flame Lion King is an existence of the highest quality bloodline among lion-type soul beasts. It is born with the same purple flame as the purple cloud flame, and possesses terrifying destructive power. The purple flame on the purple flame Lion King is the same as its status among soul beasts, and it is also the king of flames. It is estimated that this purple flame Lion King is about 50,000 years old, which is the strength of our soul master, Soul Saint." The beautiful woman was a little worried and said, "Senior brother, do we still want to take down this purple cloud flame? The strength of this guardian soul beast is a bit strong. If we force ourselves to fight the Purple Flame Lion King, I feel that the risk of our failure will be very high. The young senior brother thought for a while, and said resolutely, we must go. We have finally found the purple cloud flame. If we miss it, we don't know how long it will take to find it again. Isn't it just a 50,000-year-old Purple Flame Lion King? We are not vegetarians. We will just go and it's over. After the young senior brother finished speaking, a blue thunder flashed in his eyes. He was obviously very confident in his own strength. Afterwards, the senior brother and the disciples in the sect made a plan to deal with the Purple Flame Lion King. At this time, the Purple Flame Lion King was sleeping peacefully, and suddenly several fierce soul skills attacked it instantly. The Purple Flame Lion King, sensing the danger, also quickly stood up and dodged the attack directly. After the Purple Flame Lion King avoided the sneak attack, those soul skills directly blasted a big hole in the original position of the Purple Flame Lion King. The Purple Flame Lion King was disturbed from his sweet dream and roared in anger instantly. The terrifying roar instantly spread throughout the valley. After hearing the roar, the other soul beasts in the valley also hurriedly fled the area because they knew that the Beast King was angry. Seeing that their sneak attack missed, the senior brother cursed inwardly. Damn it, I didn't expect this Purple Flame Lion King to be so vigilant, and the sneak attack was successful. Facing the angry Purple Flame Lion King, the senior brother was not very afraid. A strong blue tiger figure instantly appeared behind him. His height instantly rose by several meters, his hands also turned into powerful tiger claws, and his whole body was faintly shining with thunder. This is his martial soul, the Thunder Lion King. This is why he is not afraid of the Purple Flame Lion King, because as a king, his Tiger King is not weaker than the Lion King. The senior brother rushed forward and appeared directly in front of the Purple Flame Lion King. Thunder Tiger Violent Fist. A punch carrying the violent power of thunder directly hit the Lion King. Facing the punch coming at him, the Lion King was very contemptuous and thought to himself, weak human. Then he punched out and blasted the senior brother who was punching away. It rolled several times before stopping. Blood was flowing from the corner of his mouth. The senior brother thought to himself, what a strong Lion King, is there really a huge gap in strength? Junior sister, help me, and junior brothers. The other disciples of the sect also opened their martial souls and released their soul skills to attack the Purple Flame Lion King. Although their strength was very good, they were still far behind the Purple Flame Lion King who was 2 realms behind. Their attacks could not cause any damage to the Purple Flame Lion King. The Purple Flame Lion King also slapped several disciples back. Just when the Purple Cloud Lion King was about to take advantage of the victory to pursue, a sword energy instantly slashed at the Purple Flame Lion King. The tiger claws of the Purple Flame Lion King were directly slashed with a long blood mark. The Purple Flame Lion King roared angrily. The sword just now was slashed by the girl named Junior Sister Yoon. She is a level 67 Soul Emperor, and her martial soul is a red long sword with a blazing flame. Although she is a junior sister, her real strength is actually stronger than that of the senior brother. Looking at the brothers who were slapped away, the senior brother felt very guilty. I really shouldn't have acted so rashly. After all, not every junior brother has the talent and strength like me and junior sister Yoon. But the battle had to continue. The senior brother stood up again, blue thunder flashed in his eyes, and the terrifying power of thunder burst out from his body. He was going to do his best. 5th soul skill, Thunder Tiger King Transformation. After activating the martial soul, the senior brother's strength increased instantly. He directly attacked the Purple Flame Lion King who was fighting with junior sister Yoon. The senior brother shouted, "Junior sister, let me go, I'm going to use my ultimate." Then the senior brother jumped up directly, and a black soul ring instantly floated from his body. The senior brother shouted, "Tiger God Thunder Slash." His right hand instantly turned into a thunder sword, and the terrifying thunder directly covered his right hand. The senior brother's right hand slashed at the Purple Flame Lion King like a crescent. Facing the blow that made it feel greatly threatened, the Purple Flame Lion King also instantly condensed a terrifying purple flame in his mouth. The ultra-high temperature purple flame shot directly at the oncoming purple flame. The young senior brother was instantly engulfed by the purple flame, and his skin was instantly burned violently, even his soul was burning. The young senior brother endured the pain and slashed the Purple Flame Lion King's head with a Tiger God Thunder Slash. Then the young senior brother could no longer hold on and fell directly from mid-air. Because everyone was fighting, the young senior brother fell hard from a high altitude to the ground. Damn! Is there no one to take me? The young senior brother cursed. When the young senior brother's knife chopped on the head of the Purple Flame Lion King, the Purple Flame Lion King instantly let out a painful roar. Because the young senior brother's attack directly opened a big hole in the head of the Purple Flame Lion King. This gave the other disciples who had no attack power an opportunity to transfer all their output to the big wound. Suddenly, under a fierce attack, a lot of purple beast blood spurted out. What was surprising was that the blood flowing out of the Purple Flame Lion King was also extremely hot. The splashing super high temperature beast blood scalded several disciples. The young senior brother slumped on the ground, looking at junior sister Yoon, who was fighting with the Purple Flame Lion King not far away, and said, "Junior sister Yoon, the rest is up to you." Because he really didn't have a trace of strength left. Just when he was about to close his eyes and rest, he caught a glimpse of one of the disciples who were fighting. What is that guy Meng Hao doing? Why doesn't he attack? Among the group of disciples who were fighting with the Purple Flame Lion King, one disciple was pretending to fight with his junior brothers. The junior brothers who were fighting seriously on the side didn't realize that there were people cheating at this critical moment. Only the young senior brother who was watching the battle on the side found the clue. He wanted to remind his fellow brothers that there was something wrong with that guy Meng Hao, but he didn't have any strength at this time. He really didn't even have the strength to speak. Book Friends Group 100,861,943. Join the group to urge for updates. Please join the group. Chapter 93 Zhuanyan Sect. After the senior brother fell, all hope was placed on the beautiful woman named Yoon. The only ones who could cause harm to the Purple Flame Lion King were the senior brother and her, but fortunately, the senior brother had already beaten the Purple Flame Lion King half to pulp, so it was easy for Yoon to deal with the remaining junior sister. Yoon held the red sword in front of her chest, and a purple soul ring rose. Yoon said lightly, "Fifth soul skill, Phoenix Flame slashing the prairie." A hot red flame instantly attached to the long sword in Yoon's hand. The hot flame gradually condensed into a flaming phoenix, standing on Yoon's red long sword. Yoon swung the sword, and a majestic flaming phoenix instantly rushed directly to the seriously injured Purple Flame Lion King like a sharp sword. Feeling that his life was in danger, the Purple Flame Lion King also desperately fired terrifying purple flames from his mouth. But in the end, this was all a useless struggle of the Purple Flame Lion King before his death. The Phoenix Fire Sword directly passed through the purple flames ejected by the Purple Flame Lion King and hit the Purple Flame Lion King's body. The Purple Flame Lion King, who was hit by this, also let out a crazy scream. At this time, the Purple Flame Lion King's body was covered with terrifying hot flames. The already seriously injured Purple Flame Lion King was completely dead after being hurt by this blow. The huge body fell down instantly, and the flames left by Sister Yoon's fifth soul skill were still on his body. Unexpectedly, as the King of Fire, it was burned to death by the flames in the end. After the Purple Flame Lion King was killed, was the battle really over? Just when the disciples who had fought hard thought that they could finally rest. Suddenly, the disciple of Meng Hao suddenly took out a red crystal from his arms. A junior brother beside him asked in confusion, "Meng Hao, what are you doing?" The young man named Meng Hao suddenly laughed grimly. "What? Of course, I want you to die." Then he threw the red crystal in his hand into the sky of the valley. After the violent noise, the red crystal stone left a conspicuous mark in the air of the valley. The disciple standing close to Meng Hao cursed, "Meng Hao, are you crazy? Are you trying to attract people from other sects? Get lost." The disciple named Meng Hao hit the disciple who questioned him and sent him flying. Because of the previous battle, the disciple's soul power had been consumed, and he couldn't believe that Meng Hao, who was usually a good brother to them, would actually attack him. So he didn't react for a while, and was directly hit by Meng Hao's young man and flew dozens of meters away. He fell hard on the ground and spit out a lot of blood. The other fellow disciples were also ready to take down Meng Hao first. But how could they, who had consumed a lot of soul power, beat Meng Hao, who didn't consume much soul power throughout the whole process? So they were all defeated and seriously injured by the young man named Meng Hao. It seems that this guy is really crazy, and he is completely killing his fellow disciples. Just as junior sister Yoon was about to kill the madman, a voice rang out. "Hello, everyone from Xiao Wu sect." Everyone looked in the direction of the voice, where nearly 20 young men dressed in sect uniforms were standing in a neat row. After seeing their faces clearly, the senior brother was also shocked and said, "People from Zhuanyan sect. Why are people from Zuanyan sect here? The senior brother suddenly thought of something and turned his head to look at Meng Hao not far away. The man named Meng Hao smiled coldly and said, "Yes, it's me." After hearing Meng Hao say it himself, the senior brother was even more shocked. He didn't expect that junior brother Meng Hao, who was usually the best friend of theirs, would actually betray them. "Meng Hao, you bastard, we still treat you as a brother, but you actually betrayed us." The other senior brothers also began to greet Meng Hao's mother. If they hadn't exhausted their soul power after the battle with the Purple Flame Lion King, they would have wanted to kill the traitor Meng Hao right now. Looking at his fellow disciples who were frantically greeting his parents, Meng Hao had a blank expression on his face, thinking that he was born without parents. He just said coldly, "Don't rush to scold me, consider your situation first." The young fellow disciple stood up firmly, enduring the injuries on his body, trying to pretend that he was still strong and healthy to intimidate the people from the Zuanyan sect. The young man who is the leader of the group called Zuanyan sect said, "Sun Hao, stop pretending. Meng Hao has already told us that you are seriously injured." Seeing that he could no longer pretend, Sun Hao said in a deep voice, "Then what do you want to do? Leave the purple cloud flame and the little beauty of your Xiangxin sect, and you Xiangxin sect trash can get out." "Luo Quan, I'm your mother, absolutely impossible. If you want to take the purple cloud flame, take it away. Junior sister Yun will never give it to you." After being scolded by Sun Hao, Luo Quan's eyes instantly became full of cold murderous intent. "In this case, I won't keep you. I originally wanted to spare your lives." Sun Hao felt that something was wrong, and turned around and shouted, "Junior sister Yun, leave quickly." "Yes, senior sister Yun, leave quickly, we will hold back these bastards." The other disciples of Xiangxin sect said. They knew how perverted the Zuanyan sect's bastards were. They were the cancer of the four major sects, as famous as the Blood sect. If a girl like their junior sister Yun fell into their hands, who knows what tragic consequences would happen. Although they were all weak, they were definitely not bastards like Meng Hao. They would never sell out their teammates just to save their lives. Junior sister Yun said, "No, I won't leave." The young man named Luo Quan said coldly, "Leave? Little beauty, can you get away?" Then he disappeared from the spot in a flash. Sun Hao wanted to stop him, but was knocked away by the villain Luo Quan. Sun Hao fell to the ground again, with a lot of blood flowing out of his mouth. Luo Quan appeared in front of Sun Hao, stepped hard on Sun Hao's chest, and stepped on Sun Hao to the ground. Luo Quan said arrogantly, Sun Hao, aren't you usually very powerful? Why are you so weak now?" "Fuck you, Luo Quan, let go of our senior brother," said the other disciples of Xiangxin sect. But after seeing a few figures flash by, their row of disciples were instantly knocked out. As their soul power had been exhausted, they could not put up any resistance at all. At this time, all the disciples of their Xiangxin sect except junior sister Yun were trampled under the feet of the people of Zuanyan sect. If they were in their usual prime, the people of Zuanyan sect would not dare to be so arrogant, because the overall strength of their Xiangxin sect disciples was much stronger than that of their Zuanyan sect, but they could not stand up to the fact that their soul power had been exhausted at this time. Moreover, the strength of their senior brother Sun Hao was also stronger than that idiot Luo Quan. He could only take advantage of others' misfortune now. If he was in his prime, their senior brother would be able to beat the shit out of Luo Quan. But at this time, they could not resist anything. It was all because of the betrayal of that bastard Meng Hao. Chapter 94 Zuanyan Sect, 2. Junior sister Yun did not leave at this time, but chose to stay. Because her senior brothers did not hand her over in order to survive, she could not abandon them and run away. Looking at junior sister Yun who chose to stay, Sun Hao said desperately, "Junior sister, why are you so stupid?" Luo Quan kicked Sun Hao, who was lying on the ground, to the side, and then walked towards junior sister Yun. But he stopped while walking and said to a young man not far away, "Wang Kui, come with me, this girl is not simple, I am afraid I can't handle it alone." He was only a level 64 Soul Emperor, and was still a little bit behind junior sister Yun who was level 67. The young man walked out of the Zuanyan Sex team. He was also a level 64 Soul Emperor and released his soul power. The young man named Wang Kui said, "I've been thinking about this chick for a long time, since before I entered the secret realm. After all, I've never seen such a beautiful woman in my life. I must go first." He licked his tongue disgustingly. "Don't be careless, this chick is not simple, take her down first," Luo Quan said. After that, the two martial spirits appeared. Luo Quan's martial spirit is a black wolf, shadow wolf. Wang Kui's martial spirit is a black leopard, swift shadow leopard. Luo Quan and Wang Kui's figures instantly rose, black hair like steel grew, and their hands also changed into terrifying claws. The canine teeth became sharp, and the color turned into the yellow animal pupils that animals are born with. Two beasts, come together. After that, the two attacked Sister Yun from the left and right. The speed of the two was very fast, so fast that the people present could only see two after images. Facing the two people who attacked her like hungry wolves, Sister Yun did not panic like other female soul masters would in such a situation, but was very calm. A purple soul ring rose from her feet, third soul skill, red flame sword wings. A pair of blazing flame wings instantly appeared behind her, and then flew into the air. Don't forget that in this world, the Soul Emperor can already fly. As explained before, the combat power in this world will be much stronger than the original, so the Soul Emperor realm will not be too much. Luo Quan and the other two also quickly opened the sky to catch up. Both of them are quick attacking soul masters, and they have to get close to their faces to attack. Sister Yun sees this problem and pulled with them. Facing the two people who grabbed her with the sky, Sister Yun also backhanded down. A purple soul skill rose from her body. Fourth soul skill, extreme speed blazing sword. A blazing sword energy instantly slashed out and slashed at Luo Quan and the other two. The powerful thing about this soul skill is not the power, but the speed of release. The flaming sword energy almost instantly slashed towards Luo Quan and the other two. Luo Quan and the other two did not react and were hit directly. Although they had raised their hands to block, they still fell back to the ground. Seeing that the distance had been widened, Sister Yun also seized the opportunity and pursued again. A black soul ring floated from her body, phoenix flame slashing the prairie. This attack was the attack that Sister Yun used to kill the purple flame lion king just now. Facing this attack, Luo Quan and the other two also frantically activated the acceleration soul skill to dodge. But what they didn't know was that Sister Yun's attack could be locked. The flaming phoenix flying at high speed instantly turned into two, and chased Luo Quan and the other two separately. Luo Quan and the other two obviously didn't know that this soul skill could actually split and track. The two were directly hit and blasted away by the huge energy, spitting blood crazily from their mouths. Because they are both agility attack soul masters, they don't have any defensive soul skills. This attack dealt them heavy damage. If Fengai and Liao Yuanzhan had not been divided into two attacks, the attack just now would have killed them both. Super, I didn't expect this chick to be so powerful. Wang Kui scolded. I didn't expect this either. I only knew that this chick would be extraordinary, but I didn't expect that she would be so extraordinary, Luo Quan said. Luo Quan said viciously, in this case, I can only lose some of my demeanor. Why are you still standing there? Come on, I'll give you some soup after I take down this chick, Luo Quan said to the Zuanyan sect disciples on the side. That's right, he started to be shameless, and he wanted to send more than a dozen big men to deal with a weak woman. Hearing that they would be given a mouthful of soup to drink, the disciples of Zuanyan sect also began to boil. After all, they were all a group of lewd people, and women were the most exciting to them. Nearly 20 disciples of Zuanyan sect opened their martial spirits and rushed directly to Sister Yun. Most of them were at the Soul King level, with only one or two special disciples having the Soul Emperor level. This group of beasts rushed towards Junior Sister Yun in such a mighty manner. Facing this group of people, Junior Sister Yun still appeared to be very calm on the surface. But the sword in her hand was clenched tightly, and it was obvious that she herself was not very sure that she could defeat this group of people. Because at this time, her soul power had been almost consumed, and she could only release 2 more soul skills at most. What she had to do now was to seize the opportunity and then solve the opponent with one blow. Just when the disciples of Zuanyan sect were about to attack her, she finally made a move. A black soul ring floated from her body. 6th soul skill, 9 phoenixes, burning. 9 sacred phoenixes condensed by flames suddenly appeared on Junior Sister Yun's sword. Junior Sister Yun slashed directly with a sword, and 9 phoenixes burning with terrifying red flames directly waved their flaming wings and attacked the Zuanyan sect disciples who were rushing towards them. Although he was crazy just now, He woke up instantly in the face of this terrifying attack. Those who had defensive soul skills used them, and those who did not could only watch themselves being engulfed by 9 fiery phoenixes. Because the distance was too close, they could not dodge at all. They could only be burned and engulfed by the flames. In the flames, most of the Zuan disciples screamed miserably. Only some of them could rely on defensive soul skills to stubbornly resist the 9 phoenixes' fire attacks, but it was useless. They would eventually be engulfed by the flames. Although Sister Yun's attack defeated most of the Zuan disciples, she did not relax at all at this time. Because she found that Luo Quan and Wang Qiren were missing. The two of them would definitely not run away. They could not have been unaware that Sister Yun's soul power was almost exhausted at this time, and it was the best time to pursue the victory. After all, the soul power required to release such a powerful move is very terrifying. Just as Sister Yun was looking for Luo Quan and Wang Kui, 2 figures suddenly appeared in front of her. They really appeared in an instant, without a trace. Sister Yun had no time to react and was knocked to the ground by the 2's claws. Sister Yun fell directly to the ground, and 2 long wounds appeared on her abdomen. Blood flowed from the corners of her beautiful mouth. Martial Soul Fusion Technique. That's right, Luo Quan and Wang Kui used the Martial Soul Fusion Technique. Chapter 95 Xianyu's handsome appearance. This is the Martial Soul Fusion skill. Wang Kui laughed evilly. I don't know why I can form a Martial Soul Fusion skill with this guy. Although it was discovered accidentally, the effect of this Martial Soul Fusion skill is really good. It can achieve a real invisible state in a short period of time. Even if the opponent has soul skills, it can't detect it at all. Little beauty, I can finally enjoy you. Wang Kui walked towards junior sister Yun in a wretched manner, taking off his clothes and unbuckling his belt. He completely ignored the fact that the Zuan sect disciples who had just taken the damage for the 2 of them were now seriously injured. Junior sister Yun now clenched the red sword in her hand, ready to commit suicide at any time. She really hoped that a hero would appear to save them at this time. After all, she was still so young and had never had a boyfriend. At this moment, an unruly voice sounded. Oh? Such a good soul skill actually fell into the hands of you 2 beasts. You must have been to the women's bathhouse a lot. Wang Kui immediately turned around and said, You are talking nonsense. The time limit is too short, it can't be seen at all. And who are you calling a beast? At this time, Luo Quan and Wang Kui also turned around and saw a figure standing on a boulder not far away. When they saw clearly, they found that this person was very handsome enough to make people and gods hate him, so handsome that they felt ashamed. Tianyu said, I am scolding you 2 idiots. I advise you to raise your hands and surrender, and then find a rope to tie yourself up. If I take action, you will lose your arms and legs. Tianyu's appearance undoubtedly gave many disciples of Xiangxin sect a glimmer of hope. Moreover, they saw that Tianyu was so calm, and he was alone, so he must be a master. Luo Quan and Wang Kui exchanged glances, and the murderous intent in their eyes appeared again. Then the figures of the 2 disappeared in an instant. Sister Yun shouted, Young man, be careful, this move is very difficult. Before she could even say the word deal, she heard 2 shrill screams. Luo Quan and Wang Kui fell from a height and smashed hard on the ground, creating a large gap in the ground. At this time, Luo Quan and Wang Kui both vomited a lot of blood, and blood was flowing from their 7 orifices. Their hands were cut off by something, and the place where they should have been was empty. What was even more terrifying was that a bloody hole appeared on their chests. This scene stunned everyone present. It shocked their mother for 300 years. Instant kill. This made Sun Hao dumbfounded. He originally thought that it would take some time for Xianyue to defeat Luo Quan and Wang Kui, but he didn't expect that Xianyue actually killed Luo Quan and Wang Kui in seconds, so fast that even he couldn't see clearly. Seeing the 2 bosses being crippled, the other Zuan disciples also ran away, regardless of the injuries they had just suffered from junior sister Yun. Some disciples who were crippled by junior sister Yun were also ruthlessly abandoned. Just when they thought they could run away, Xianyue said something that seemed to be a joke, which frightened them. Did I say you can leave? When they heard Xianyue's words, they ran even harder, running at the fastest speed in their lives. Xianyue told them to run as they pleased, and he just snapped his fingers lightly. Snap! The group of Zuan disciples who were running away frantically felt that their legs were instantly unconscious, and then more than a dozen people fell to the ground collectively. They looked down at their feet again and found that their legs had disappeared. They could only see a terrifying black energy eroding their legs. Knowing that they could not escape, the Zuan'an disciples knelt down and begged for mercy from Tianyu frantically. At this time, Tianyu was a demon in their eyes. "Brother, spare me. We were all forced by Luo Quan." Yes, we were all forced into the Zuan'an sect by them. We are all good people." Tianyu ignored their pleas for mercy and slowly walked to Luo Quan, who was lying on the ground, then squatted down. "I heard that you are very familiar with the blood sect." Luo Quan endured the pain in his body and said, "We are not only familiar with the people of the blood sect, but also with the people of the XX sect and the XX sect. I advise you to be sensible and let us go, otherwise the people around you in the sect will die ugly." Luo Quan, who knew that he could not resist, also threatened viciously. Just when Luo Quan thought he could scare Tianyu with the reputation of the four evil cults. But Tianyu just said lightly, "Oh, I understand, then you can go and die." What Tianyu hated most was threatening him with the people around him. Tianyu's eyes flashed with a black light, and the killing intent flashed. Feeling the killing intent in Tianyu's eyes, Luo Quan also knew that Tianyu was really not afraid of the people of the four evil cults. No, you can't kill me," Luo Quan yelled in horror. But before he could finish his words, his whole body slowly began to break into pieces. The first thing that turned into powder was his legs, and then his body. Seeing that the black energy had already exceeded his legs, Luo Quan's strong desire to survive made him scream wildly, "No. Please, I am willing to be your slave." But Tianyu didn't give him a chance. He said that what he hated most was to threaten the people around him, but when he said that, he had already entered the death list. After a while, Luo Quan's whole body disappeared, turning into a ball of black powder without any vitality and being blown away by the wind, leaving only a miserable scream echoing in the air. It really achieved killing without blood. That's right, Tianyu killed Luo Quan, a level 64 Soul Emperor, with just a glance. Wang Hui, who was standing aside, was also scared to death when he saw this scene and kept begging for mercy. But Tianyu ignored him. He had been crippled by Tianyu anyway, and he couldn't survive in this dangerous monster valley. "Hey, the one lying on the ground over there, don't look around, it's you." The person Tianyu called was naturally the one called Sun Hao. Hearing Tianyu calling him, Sun Hao also endured the pain of being stepped on by Luo Quan several times, came to Tianyu and clasped his fists and said, "Thank you for saving my life, sir. I don't know what you want me to do, as long as I can." "Stop." Tianyu also stopped his nagging. He asked directly, "Your Xiangxin sect is a decent sect, right?" Sun Hao, who thought Tianyu misunderstood that they were a cult, also hurriedly explained, "This sir, our Xiangxin sect is definitely a decent sect. Our Xiangxin sect is a well-known decent sect on the mainland." Tianyu just stared at Sun Hao. Sun Hao was also stared at by Tianyu and felt numb, not only because he was afraid of Tianyu's strength, but also because their lives were in Tianyu's hands at this time. If you say Tianyu is a bad guy, he specifically killed people from Zuan'an sect and saved their Xiangxin sect. But if you say Tianyu is a decent person, the momentum he showed when he killed Luo Quan and abolished Zuan'an sect was so terrifying that it might be the effect of Tianyu's demonic possession. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 96. My name is Dongfang Tianyu. Sun Hao, who was being stared at by Tianyu, saw Tianyu actually slowly reaching out his hand towards him. Seeing Tianyu's move, Sun Hao's heart instantly sank. He thought to himself, "Does this big guy want to kill me?" He was sure that if Tianyu wanted to kill him, he would not be able to resist even in his prime. But Tianyu was not as he imagined. Tianyu just stopped his hand on his head. Then a special spiritual power instantly poured into his body. He felt that his injuries were recovering rapidly, and he felt so comfortable. It was so comfortable that he almost cried out. Fortunately, Tianyu healed him in just 3 seconds, otherwise he might really cry out. The reason why Tianyu helped him heal his injuries was because Tianyu did not see any dirt in Sun Hao's eyes, which meant that Sun Hao was not a bad person. Anyway, It would not cost much soul power, so he helped by the way. Xianyu is still quite helpful. Please put the light of righteousness on the barrage. At this time, Sun Hao was very shocked, because Xianyu actually healed his almost scrapped body with just a raise of his hand. Even if he returned to the sect and asked a high-level healing spirit master to treat his injuries, no matter how well he was treated, he would still be sick. But Xianyu healed his injuries with just a raise of his hand, and did not leave any illness, which was simply amazing in Sun Hao's eyes. At this time, Xianyu was simply a god-level figure in Sun Hao's eyes. He was so young and had the strength and means comparable to that of a titled Douluo, which really made him admire him. Xianyu's behavior also made Sun Hao feel relieved, indicating that Xianyu was not a bad person. Xianyu originally wanted to leave after pretending to be a fork. After all, he had been wandering in the secret realm for nearly 10 days, but still did not find Zuir's trace, which made him doubt whether Zuir had entered the secret realm. Zuir was not found, but many legends were left in the secret realm. Some disciples in the secret realm began to spread the word that a sword immortal who specialized in helping people had recently appeared in the secret realm. This person was the most handsome in the entire continent, and his strength was also very strong. Even a 100,000-year-old soul beast could not withstand a single move from him. Although this was indeed true, it was still strange for Xianyu to be spread like this. Fortunately, he used pseudonyms such as Shilezi, Li Bai, and Suk. Great God, can you also help heal my fellow disciples? Okay. Xianyu said and waved his hand casually. A healing energy flew directly from Xianyu's fingertips and landed on the disciples of Xiangxin sect who were seriously injured. Since they were all from a decent sect, Xianyu was still very happy to help casually. Anyway, it was just a matter of raising his hand. Xianyu's healing power landed directly on those disciples of Xiangxin sect. They immediately felt a super comfortable feeling coming from their bodies, even more comfortable than the 10 shots per second reward. Some disciples with poor perseverance even cried out directly. Although Xianyu had already gotten used to it, he still couldn't help but get goosebumps when he saw a group of men yelling there. It would be great if they were girls. After being cured by Xianyu, the disciples of Xiangxin sect all clasped their fists to thank Xianyu one by one, and thanked Xianyu for saving their lives with tears in their eyes. They all said that if they could be of any use to them in the future, please don't be polite. Xianyu had long been tired of hearing such words, so he didn't take it seriously. After thanking Xianyu, the cured Xiangxin sect disciples all went to the Xiangxin sect disciple who betrayed them, Meng Hao. Then Xianyu heard a miserable voice, which should be the betrayer, Meng Hao. At that time, Xianyu saw him with the people of Zuanayan sect, and they ran away together, so he casually crippled him. Fuck you, Meng Hao, you bastard, so many of our brothers were almost killed by you, a villain. After saying that, he punched Meng Hao in the face, and then punched Meng Hao in the stomach. Meng Hao, whose limbs were broken, could not resist at all and could only be beaten by the disciples of Xiangxin sect. The junior brother who scolded Meng Hao was a strong attacking spirit master. With one punch, Meng Hao's bile came out. That's right, we still regard you as a brother in the sect. If it weren't for the great God who saved us, we would have been killed by you today. I'm only 20 years old and have never touched a woman. I was almost killed by you. Go to hell. After saying that, he kicked Meng Hao in the face with a series of kicks. This disciple of Xiangxin sect was a strong attacking spirit master who specialized in leg skills. After this series of kicks, Meng Hao was almost dead. Where is the junior brother of the healing department? Hurry up and heal him. We can't let this bastard die so easily. Then 3 healing spirit masters of Xiangxin sect stood up and used the most healing in their lives to heal Meng Hao, because they didn't want Meng Hao to die so easily. Looking at the 3 soul masters who healed him in an instant, Meng Hao said desperately, please give me a quick pain. You still want to be hurt? Eat shit. A disciple of Xiangxin sect said. We asked you to give us a quick pain, but did you give it to us? You just wanted us to survive and then torture us. Now you want to die? It's not that easy. Then they beat Meng Hao violently again. They didn't beat Meng Hao to death. They wanted to take Meng Hao back to the sect and interrogate him to see if there were more traitors hiding in their Xiangxin sect. Sun Hao came to Xianyu and said, that? God, what should we do with that group of people? Sun Hao was talking about Wang Kui and the group of Zuanayan sect that Xianyu had destroyed. Tianyu waved his hand casually and said, "You can do whatever you want. I have something urgent to do, so I'll leave first." After that, Tianyu pretended to be in a hurry. Seeing that Tianyu had something urgent to do, Sun Hao couldn't let him stay. After all, Tianyu had saved the lives of so many disciples of their Tang San sect. "That great god, what's your name?" Sun Hao asked. Tianyu waved his hand and said, "Good people do good things, and they don't spare their lives." Just as Tianyu was about to use the power of space to leave, a pleasant voice sounded from behind. "Young master, please stay." When Tianyu heard that it was a girl calling him, he stopped immediately. Sun Hao on the side was dumbfounded, and complained in his heart, "Great God, didn't you just say that you had something urgent? Why are you not in a hurry when junior sister Yun calls you?" Tianyu turned around in a chick manner and found that it was the stunning beauty of Tang San sect, junior sister Yun, who was calling him. Tianyu smiled, which he thought was very handsome, and said, "What's wrong, little sister? Is there something you can do for me?" Sister Yun blushed, and nervously pinched a corner of her clothes that was torn and exposed because of the battle, and said, well, sir, can I know your name?" "Of course, I'm honored. My name is Dongfang Tianyu." Tianyu regretted it as soon as he finished speaking, because he revealed his real name. "Dongfang Tianyu." Sister Yun murmured. "Just call me Tianyu. What's your name?" Tianyu said, "It was said anyway. My name is..." Chapter 97 Murengzian. "Master Tianyu, my name is Murengzian, you can just call me Yuner." "Yes, okay, Yuner." Tianyu called out without hesitation. The exchange between the two made Sun Hao, who was watching the show, dumbfounded. Sun Hao was shocked in his heart. Junior sister Yun actually asked others to call her Yuner, but even someone like me who has been her senior brother for so many years cannot call her by this nickname. And junior sister let Master Tianyu call her by such an intimate nickname, which is a treatment that none of the senior brothers in their sect have. They can only call Murengzian junior sister Yun at ordinary times. Damn it, my junior sister Yun was captured by Master Tianyu like this. Also, Master Tianyu, didn't you say that you do good things without leaving your name? Why did you tell junior sister Yun when she asked you? Sun Hao complained about Tianyu, the LSP, in his heart. It turns out that no matter how powerful the master is, he can't resist the beauty of junior sister Yun. Sun Hao thought so. But this doesn't seem to be a bad thing. On the contrary, it can allow Tianyu to stay and act with the people of their Tang San sect, and protect them by the way. Tianyu and Murengzian. After a while of communication, Murengzian found that Tianyu did not give people the kind of fear when he killed Luo Quan. Instead, he was a very gentle boy. He was strong, handsome, hated evil, and spoke gently. Such a man instantly made Murengzian feel good. By the way, Yuner, how could your Tang San sect be so embarrassed by the people of Zuanayan sect? Shouldn't your strength be stronger than Zuanayan sect? Tianyu asked. Because Tianyu arrived when Murengzian was fighting Luo Quan and Wang Kui, he didn't know what happened before. Young Master Tianyu, it's like this. Murengzian also explained to Tianyu what happened. So that's the case. It's true that people's hearts are hard to predict. Who would have thought that he would be betrayed by his junior brother who lives with him day and night? Not only Tianyu hated this kind of traitorous behavior, but any normal person would hate betrayal. Master Tianyu, the people of Zuanayan sect are sinister and vicious. This time you helped us, and it must have ruined the plan. I'm afraid that they will. Yuner, it's okay. I don't take the small Zuanayan sect seriously. I will destroy them one by one in the future. Not only Zuanayan sect, but I will destroy them one by one as long as they are from the four evil sects. Tianyu said domineeringly. Looking at Tianyu's domineering speech, Murengzian's eyes were full of little stars of admiration. She thought to herself, Master Tianyu is so domineering. You must know that the four evil sects are a headache for even their many upright sects. Not only because of their disciples, but also because of their strange whereabouts, they can't completely eradicate them. And Tianyu didn't take the four powerful evil sects seriously at all. He said he would destroy them. This is what a powerful and confident person can say. If this kind of words came from someone else's mouth, Murengzian would definitely think the other party was a fool, but when this came from Tianyu's mouth, she believed it very much. By the way, Master Xianyu, which sect are you from? When we leave the secret realm, we, the people of Xiangxin sect, must come to your house to repay you. Xianyu smiled slightly and said, I'm not a disciple. Ah. Master Xianyu, what do you mean by this? Murinzian asked in confusion. After all, there are still people who are not disciples these days, and they are as powerful as Xianyu. There should be a very powerful sect behind them. Could it be that he is a casual cultivator? But Murinzian soon got the answer. Xianyu said, because I am the sect master. Sect master. Murinzian was also quite surprised to hear Xianyu say it himself. After all, who would have thought that Xianyu was so young and was actually the master of a sect? What is a sect? A sect must have at least hundreds of soul masters to be called a sect. Xianyu looks younger than her age, but he is already the master of a sect. Mr. Xianyu, what is the name of your sect? We, the people of Xiangxin sect, want to come and thank you for saving our lives. My sect is called Xianyu Demon Palace, but the location of the sect is not on this continent. It exists in an independent space, and you can't find it. As for thanks, there is no need. People from Xianyu Demon Palace never need it when doing good things. No, Mr. Xianyu, we must repay you well. After all, you saved the lives of so many of our disciples. If you don't accept the reward, we will feel bad. Xianyu thought to himself, why is this girl so stubborn? So he decided to play with her. Xianyu said, do you really want to repay me? Yes, Mr. Xianyu. Murinzian nodded. Xianyu's body slowly leaned over, put his lips to her ear and said, then you will be in love with me. When Xianyu said this, Murinzian's pretty face instantly turned red. Xianyu originally thought that after he made such an excessive request, this silly girl would no longer think about repaying. As a result, Murinzian blushed and said shyly, Master Xianyu, can we wait until we get out of the secret realm and then? She was a little shy and couldn't continue. This made Xianyu very confused. He originally planned to make a joke so that this girl would give up the idea of repaying him. Who would have thought that this silly girl would actually agree to his excessive request for repayment? Somehow, a bystander on the side, didn't understand why his junior sister suddenly blushed when Xianyu just whispered something in her ear, and it seemed that something was wrong. Xianyu also hurriedly explained to Murinzian, haha, junior sister Yun, you misunderstood, I was just joking just now. As soon as Xianyu said this, he regretted it again. When Murinzian heard Xianyu say it was a joke, her mood instantly became depressed and she lowered her head. Murinzian said with tears in her eyes, Master Xianyu, how can you joke about this, or do you look down on Zion, Master Xianyu? Why are you crying? Xianyu was a little at a loss. But Xianyu thought about it and decided to use that trick. Xianyu directly hugged Murinzian into his arms. Xianyu felt that he was becoming more and more shameless. It was obviously the first time he met the girl, but he hugged her into his arms. But some girls just like this, especially when it comes to boys they like, Xianyu always tries it. Xianyu gently touched Murinzian's head and said, I'm sorry, Yuner, I shouldn't joke about this kind of thing. It's my fault, please forgive me. Xianyu did go too far. The girl was probably serious at the time, but Xianyu said he was joking. Isn't this just playing with a girl's feelings? Sun Hao, who was eating melons on the side, dropped the melon in his hand and asked in confusion, why is he hugging her? Chapter 98 Spiritual Flame. The disciples of Xiangxin sect, who had already vented their anger, also returned to this side. But they saw a scene as soon as they came back. Xianyu was holding Murinzian in his arms at this time. From the perspective of passers-by, the two of them were quite ambiguous at this time. At this moment, the hearts of the disciples of Xiangxin sect were broken. Because Murinzian has always been the goddess of their junior brothers and sisters in Xiangxin sect. Not only are there many people pursuing junior sister Yun in the sect, but even those pursuing junior sister Yun outside can line up in a long line to several empires. But in the face of so many suitors, Murinzian did not agree to any of them. Even if there were some sons of the Holy Land among them, Murinzian rejected them one by one. Usually, no man can touch Murinzian, let alone hug her. But at this time, Xianyu was holding Murinzian in his arms unscrupulously, and Murinzian did not resist. A disciple of Xiangxin sect said with tears in his eyes, wow, My goddess Yun, how come she is in the arms of the great god when I wasn't paying attention for a moment? I regret being saved by the great god. Me too, we regard the great god as our savior, but he actually wants to seduce our goddess. Although they said so, they were still very happy to see that junior sister Yun found someone she liked. If someone dared to hug their junior sister Yun like this, they might go up and beat that guy. But if that person was Tianyu, they would let it go, not only because Tianyu saved their lives, but more because they couldn't beat Tianyu even if they all went together. Tianyu sighed. Yuner, can you forgive me? Murinzian, who stayed in Tianyu's arms for a while, was no longer angry with Tianyu, and said, okay, then I will reluctantly forgive you. Then he came out of Tianyu's arms. But as soon as she came out of Tianyu's arms, she faced more than a dozen strange eyes. These eyes were naturally from Sun Hao and the disciples of Tang San sect. The shameless Murinzian couldn't stand such a look and quickly fled the scene. Then the disciples of Tang San sect also looked at Tianyu. Tianyu was thick-skinned. Tianyu said, what are you looking at? Haven't you seen a handsome bitch? If you look again, I will beat you up. When they heard that Tianyu was going to beat them, the disciples of Tang San sect quickly dared not continue to look at Tianyu with such a strange look. Sun Hao came to Tianyu with a smile on his face and put his hand on Tianyu's shoulder. He said with a face full of earnestness, this, Mr. Tianyu, I have always treated Sister Yun as a sister. She is a good girl. You must treat her well. Otherwise, even if I can't beat you, I will fight you a few moves. After that, he left directly. Tianyu was left confused. After all, he just hugged Murinzian. How could it be that I have conquered her in your eyes? Although he knew that Murinzian might have a little affection for him, it was not to that extent. To be honest, he didn't want to mess around anymore, otherwise he was really afraid that he would be beaten to death by the woman in Shrek one day. Tianyu could only sigh helplessly, Alice my damn charm. After a while, Tianyu did not leave, but chose to stay for a while. Murinzian, who ran away, also came back and sat on a stone with Tianyu to chat. It seemed that she was happy and had obviously forgiven Tianyu. After all, Tianyu often made Xiao and the others angry, and he was still good at coaxing women. Sun Hao and other disciples of Tang San sect also entered the cave to obtain the purple cloud flame. Purple cloud flame, one of the many naturally formed spiritual flames. This thing is extremely rare and precious in the outside world, even more precious than the top-grade external soul bone. The effect of this thing is straightforward. It is a low-profile version of the strange fire. After absorbing it, you can get a terrifying spiritual flame. The effect is even more terrifying than the purple flame of the purple flame Lion King before. Sun Hao, who was close to full status before, was burned by Ziyan's purple flame and lost his combat ability. It is conceivable that the spiritual flame, which is more powerful than the beast flame of the purple flame Lion King, must be very powerful. The soul master of the fire element can not only obtain a new and powerful spiritual flame, but also greatly enhance the soul master's control over the fire element. The spiritual flame is simply the gospel of the fire element soul master. If Tianyu did not have the martial soul of the fire element, he would have collected spiritual flames and made a Douluo version of the Flame Emperor. Please don't criticize me when you see this. The author is a Duppo fan. This is a tribute. Don't say plagiarism or something, Yuner. The purple cloud flame seems to be a good match for you. Do you want to try to absorb it? Tianyu said to Murinzian on the side. Murinzian shook his head gently and said, this must be brought to the sect. You can't absorb it without authorization. Besides, it's not that easy to absorb this spiritual flame. If you are not careful, something bad will happen. After hearing this, Tianyu fell into thought, and then said, Yuner, there shouldn't be other spiritual flames in the secret realm, right? Yes, according to the news we got from Tang San sect, there will be several kinds of spiritual flames in this secret realm, and this purple cloud flame is just one of them. Mr. Tianyu, do you want to get a spiritual flame? Well, I want to get a spiritual flame for you. Tianyu also said straightforwardly. Because he has a good impression of Murinzian, a girl, he is in a good mood, he can give it to her if he wants. As long as he wants, he can find dozens of spiritual flames for Murinzian to absorb. The premise is that Murinzian must be their confidant, Otherwise he won't seem to be too painful to find a spiritual flame to improve the strength of a woman who is not his own. Hearing Tianyu say that he wanted to find a spiritual flame to give her, Ning Rongrong was a little flattered and said, "Ah, give it to me. You know, spiritual flames are very rare, and there is no limit to its absorption. Even a titled Douluo at level 90 can absorb it. If they take the purple cloud flame they obtain this time back to the sect, there might not be a share for them, the disciples." Even though Ning Rongrong has a high status in the sect and is a direct disciple of a female elder, she may not be allocated the purple cloud flame. Isn't it just a spiritual flame? As long as I can find it, I will take it down and give it to you no matter what. Just as compensation for making you angry just now. Ning Rongrong did not refuse. The temptation of spiritual flames to fire elemental soul masters is very great. And Tianyu has the ability to easily obtain all the spiritual flames in the secret realm. So Ning Rongrong said thank you softly. It doesn't matter whether Tianyu can find the spiritual flame or not. She appreciates his kindness. Just as the two were chatting and laughing, a terrifying wave of fire element energy instantly came out from the cave that Sun Hao and his companions had just entered. Oh no, Senior Brother and his companions are in danger. They must have failed to subdue Xiao Wu. After saying that, he quickly flew towards the cave. This Sun Hao is really worrying. If it weren't for Yuner, I wouldn't want to save you. But no matter what he said, he still had to help. After all, it would be bad if he died. Tianyu still likes Sun Hao. Chapter 99 Easily Refining the Purple Cloud Flame. As soon as Tianyu and Yuner entered the cave, they saw a purple flame attacking Sun Hao and others. The color of the flame was mainly purple cloud-like, and the power of the flame was also very great, burning the space in the cave into distortion. At this time, Sun Hao and all the disciples of Xiangxin sect were all using their soul power to resist the burning of the purple cloud flame with difficulty. More than a dozen cultivators in the Soul King realm could barely resist the attack of the purple cloud flame. This was still a purple cloud flame that had not been born in the world for a long time. If it had existed for many years, even the titled Douluo would be burned to death instantly. As mentioned earlier, the flame of the purple cloud flame was mainly cloud-like. So at this time, Sun Hao and others were more like being wrapped in a purple mist. So at this time, Sun Hao and the disciples of Xiangxin sect had to form a circle and activate their defensive soul skills to resist the erosion of the terrifying cloud flame. But no matter how they activated their soul power to resist, the terrifying cloud-like flame was still burning their soul power terribly. The main soul flame was on a boulder not far away. It was a beautiful flame, but if you want to call it a flame, it was more like a cloud-like shape, with a strange purple fire heart burning in the middle of the cloud. Sun Hao, who was trapped in the cloud flame of the purple cloud flame, shouted, "Junior Sister Yun, Master Tianyu, help me." Ning Rongrong also rushed over at the first time. After all, Sun Hao and others had just almost died once. It had not been long since they fell into a dangerous situation again. If no one helped outside, it would only be a matter of time before they were consumed by the purple cloud flame and swallowed up. In fact, Sun Hao did not expect that the purple cloud flame would be so difficult to deal with. After all, it was also the first time he encountered a spiritual flame. Yuner quickly summoned his red long sword martial soul, and a sword energy with a strong fire element also slashed on the cloud-like flame that trapped Sun Hao and others. However, this blow that was enough to hurt a purple flame Lion King slash on the cloud flame of the purple cloud flame, but it did not have any effect at all. On the contrary, it made the burning momentum of the cloud flame even greater. Ning Rongrong didn't believe it, and instantly slashed out several powerful flame sword energy. But it was useless, and the cloud flame burned even more vigorously. The Xiangxin sect members trapped in the cloud flame were about to cry, thinking, "Junior sister, do you think the fire is not burning strong enough?" Ning Rongrong, who found that she couldn't solve the problem at all, turned around and wanted to ask Tianyu for help. But she found that Tianyu had already walked forward slowly. However, Tianyu did not help Sun Hao and others, but directly passed them and walked towards the purple cloud flame not far away. "Young Master Tianyu, what is this?" Ning Rongrong didn't know what Tianyu was doing. The Xiangxin sect disciples trapped in the cloud flame didn't know what Tianyu was going to do. A Xiangxin sect disciple said anxiously, "Brother, what is the great god going to do? Why doesn't he save us? We can't hold on any longer. Whatever the great god wants to do, The great god has his own intentions. If I'm not mistaken, the great god is going to subdue Xiao directly. This is the great god going to subdue Xiao with his bare hands? It is very difficult for a mortal body to subdue Lingayan without a special soul weapon. You don't have to worry about this. Please don't use ordinary people's thinking to guess the great god's thoughts. Xiao, who was not far away, was still walking slowly towards Xiao. Lingayan was intelligent. Seeing a fearless human walking towards it, it laughed on the spot. Fortunately, it didn't have a mouth. When Xiao really approached it, it felt the sense of danger emanating from Xiao. A terrifying purple flame instantly condensed in front of Xiao's body, and then shot directly at Xiao, who was unprepared. Murin Xian, who saw this scene, said worriedly, "Young Master Xiao, be careful." Although she knew that Xiao was very strong, she couldn't help but worry when she saw Xiao being attacked. Seeing that Murin Xian was actually worried about him, Xiao smiled slightly. He should do what he had in mind. Facing the flames that were enough to burn a Soul Emperor-level Soul Master to death in an instant, Xiao just smiled contemptuously. He didn't even try to dodge, and directly resisted the purple flame. Xiao was instantly engulfed by the flames. Seeing this scene, the people of Xiangxin sect were also worried. They knew that Xiao's attack methods were very strong, and Luo Quan, a Soul Emperor of more than 60 levels, was just a matter of glances in Xiao's hands. But high attack power does not mean high defense power, you know, this is a spiritual flame. Xiao's disciples all shouted in their hearts, "Master, please don't die." It's not that they are worried about Xiao, but mainly because at this time, all their hopes are placed on Xiao. If Xiao is gone, there will be no one who can save them. The flames dissipated, revealing Xiao who was intact inside. Xiao was not injured, and even his clothes were not dirty. Seeing this scene, the hearts of the people of Xiangxin sect were relieved, thinking, the great god will always be the great god, and we mortals can't figure it out. Xiao slowly stretched out a hand to Xiao and said provocatively, "That's it." Xiao, who had low spiritual intelligence, was instantly provoked by Xiao. The overwhelming and terrifying purple flames burned directly towards Xiao. But facing this blow that could kill the Soul Saint in seconds, Xiao still didn't put it in his arms. This kind of attack couldn't hurt him at all. Xiao said lightly, "Boring." Then he waved his hand casually. The overwhelming and terrifying purple flames were extinguished instantly. But Xiao, who was already angry, didn't care and continued to release a large amount of purple flames towards Xiao. But no matter how much purple flame it released, it couldn't cause the slightest effect on Xiao. It was not until the energy of Xiao was released that its low-level intelligence reacted. Xiao was not a spiritual flame of its level that could deal with it, so it wanted to run away. But could it run away? Xiao appeared in front of Xiao with a special force, stretched out his hand and gently grabbed Xiao in his hand. Xiao fought desperately, trying to escape from Xiao's clutches. But it was useless. Xiao just moved his mind, and a powerful soul power instantly wrapped up Xiao who was about to escape, and began to refine it. Under Xiao's terrifying soul power, Xiao didn't hold on for long, and was directly refined by Xiao. Although Xiao had been refined by Xiao, there were still risks when absorbing it. As Xiao was refined by Xiao, the purple flames that trapped Sun Hao and others also disappeared. Then Xiao called the system in his heart. "System, can you upgrade Xiao?" Ling. Answered the host, "Yes, you need to consume a spiritual treasure upgrade card. Then let's upgrade." After so many years of completing system tasks, Xiao has quite a few cards of this kind. Ling. 1 Ling Bao upgrade card is consumed, and Xiao is upgrading. Chapter 100 Purple Cloud Glazed Flame. The purple cloud flame in Xiao's palm instantly burst into dazzling light. It made everyone's eyes hurt. Fuck, who is pretending to be so dazzling? Who else can it be? It must be Xiao himself. Fuck, is this a golden legend? Bullshit, this is obviously Pikachu's super evolution. Ling. Spiritual flame, purple cloud flame is upgrading. Ling. Purple cloud flame has been upgraded. Ling. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the purple cloud glazed flame. After the holy light disappeared, a brand new spiritual flame appeared in Xiao's palm. After the upgrade, The purple cloud glazed flame will be much stronger than the purple cloud flame before the upgrade, and there will be no side effects when absorbing it. Everyone present also found that the purple cloud flame in Xianyu's hand seemed different. Sun Hao and others were puzzled. Huh? Why is the purple cloud flame in Xianyu's hand different? Yes, it feels more beautiful. A disciple of Xiangxin sect said. Sun Hao came to Xianyu and said, God Xianyu, why is this purple cloud flame different? What purple cloud flame? God Xianyu, it's the fire in your hand. Sun Hao said. Oh, this is not the purple cloud flame. Xianyu said. Ah. If it's not the purple cloud flame, what kind of flame is it? Sun Hao was stunned. This is called the purple cloud glazed flame. It's my enhanced spiritual flame. It has nothing to do with the purple cloud flame you are looking for. Hearing what Xianyu said, Sun Hao was at a loss for a moment. He panicked and said, does God Xianyu want to take the purple cloud flame for himself? Should I stop him? But can I stop him? He knew that as long as Xianyu wanted to take this spiritual flame, no one present could stop Xianyu. Even if Xianyu really wanted to take the purple cloud flame, they would not stop him. After all, Xianyu had saved the lives of their disciples in the Xiangxin sect twice. This was a life-saving grace, which was far inferior to this purple cloud flame. Even if Xianyu really wanted to take it away, they would not say a word. This purple cloud flame was just a sect mission. It was okay not to take it back, but it would be a bit difficult for them to explain after returning to the sect. But compared with the lives of their elite disciples in the Xiangxin sect, the purple cloud flame was still not worth mentioning. The other disciples of the Xiangxin sect thought the same way. They all thought that Xianyu wanted to take the purple cloud flame away and absorb it himself, but they would not stop him. Compared with the life-saving grace, a purple cloud flame was nothing. They could also clearly feel the changes in the purple cloud flame, which gave people the feeling of becoming more mysterious and beautiful. Perhaps the great god Xianyu in their eyes really evolved the spiritual flame. They also believed that Xianyu had this ability. The only person present who believed that Xianyu was not the kind of person who was motivated by profit was Ning. She absolutely believed that Xianyu was not that kind of person. Xianyu was holding the purple cloud glazed flame in his hand, and walked slowly to Ning, holding out the purple cloud glazed flame in his hand and said, Yuner, this is for you. Seeing Xianyu's behavior, the disciples of Xiangxin sect also understood. They said that Xianyu was so strong, how could he be interested in this purple cloud flame? It turned out that it was for their junior sister Yun. If that was the case, they would have no objection. Because if junior sister Yun absorbed the spiritual flame, they would have an explanation when they returned. After all, junior sister Yun was one of the candidates for the future leader. Even if it was absorbed, the senior leaders in the sect would not say much. And they all felt that the purple cloud flame was very suitable for junior sister Yun. After Xianyu strengthened the purple cloud flame, they felt that it was more suitable for their junior sister Yun. And the sect asked them to take back the purple cloud flame. What does it have to do with the purple cloud glazed flame after the evolution of the great god Wan Xianyu? Looking at the spiritual flame handed over by Xianyu, Ning was a little hesitant. Seeing that she was still hesitating, Xianyu grabbed her jade hand and placed the purple cloud glazed flame in his palm, saying, It's okay. This is not a purple cloud flame. This is called the purple cloud glazed flame. I deliberately upgraded it so that you can absorb it better. Yuner, you can't let me down. Seeing that Ning was still hesitating, Xianyu said firmly, Be obedient and absorb it. It can help you improve your strength. Some girls like boys who are a little more domineering, and Ning is just like that. Then Ning could only nod obediently, accept the purple cloud glazed flame, and prepare to absorb it. Because she knew that if she didn't absorb the purple cloud glazed flame today, Xianyu might not let her go today. And Xianyu also said that this was the purple cloud flame that Xianyu had upgraded specially for her. This was in disguise a gift from Xianyu to her, and she was a little reluctant to hand it over to the sect. Xianyu stepped aside and sat down with the people from Xiangxin sect, ready to slowly appreciate Ning's fusion of the purple cloud glazed flame. Looking at Ning, who was about to fuse the spiritual flame, Sun Hao on the side said to Xianyu enviously, Master Xianyu, why don't you give me a spiritual flame? Xianyu gave Sun Hao a look of looking at a fool, and said, Can you think better? Maybe I'll give it to you. Really? I'm kidding. Murin Ziyan, who is not far away, had already begun to fuse the spirit flame. Murin Ziyan placed the purple cloud-glazed flame on her chest. The purple cloud-glazed flame slowly merged into Murin Ziyan's body. Murin Ziyan frowned, because she heard from her master that fusing the spirit flame requires enduring great pain. People with weak willpower who fuse the spirit flame will easily be backlashed by the spirit flame. At the very least, the fusion will fail and their cultivation will regress. At the worst, they will be burned to death by lust. It's scary to think about it. But the expected discomfort did not come, but the body became unusually comfortable. This reminded Murin Ziyan of what Tianyu said to her, that his upgraded purple cloud flame would have no side effects when absorbed. At that time, Murin Ziyan thought that Tianyu said that to comfort her and relax her. Now she also knows that what Tianyu said was true. Murin Ziyan slowly opened her eyes. As soon as she opened her eyes, she saw Tianyu smiling at her not far away. Murin Ziyan didn't know why her face would turn red when she looked at Tianyu, and she didn't dare to look into Tianyu's eyes. Maybe Tianyu's eyes have magic. Then she could only close her eyes and continue to fuse the purple cloud-glazed flame. The purple cloud-glazed flame was washing every meridian in her marrow, making the quality and power of the fire element's soul power in her body even more powerful. And she also slowly found that a trace of purple cloud-glazed flame appeared in her body, which should be the origin of the purple cloud-glazed flame. Murin Ziyan, who was sitting cross-legged, gradually rose from his body with a purple flame like clouds and mist, and the flame was shining with colorful glaze. It seems that the purple cloud-glazed flame has slowly merged with Murin Ziyan. Just when Murin Ziyan was successfully fusing the purple cloud-glazed flame, suddenly, a large amount of purple cloud-glazed flames broke out on Murin Ziyan's body. This should be a sign that a fusion is about to succeed. But the problem is that Murin Ziyan's clothes are actually slowly burning. Book Friends Group 100,861,943. Please join the group to urge for more updates. Please join the group. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.